right, looks like we're alive. Hello, everybody out there. And let's see. I heard from Hazy already. I sent him a link. They're going to getting all together with everybody for Dizzy's party, going out to dinner. I saw Captain Jerk there, and I saw Mark M there, and of course Hazy. Breezy's Bike Shop. Hey, how's it going? Johnny Five. And so they're going to stop in once they get done with dinner. And see, it's 3 o'clock here in Vegas, and it's 6 there in Worcester, Mass. So I'll probably expect them later. My eldest son in Dallas, Texas, said that he will be here. Hey, Shandog, how's it going? And he'll be here, but he's on his way to the liquor store. He lives in the Bible Belt, and they only sell liquor in an official liquor store, and it's only open Monday through Saturday, and you can't buy hard liquor in Texas on Sunday unless you go to a bar. And so he's going to be a little late, and then my youngest son, Patrick, will be here a little late too. He's in the middle of running around doing some errands, so that's where we're at on that. So let's see, on the car. The Camaro's all buffed out, all the areas I touched up. Right as I was doing the cow panel, I screwed up right in the middle to where it comes to a little peak, and sat there and I wasn't paying attention to the buffer. And it got a little dry, and it burnt through the clear and through the paint and down to the white that was underneath it. So I'm going to pull out the airbrush, and we'll airbrush and cut that in, and then sand it, and then we'll paint it. And then thank you. And then we'll paint it, and then we'll clear it. The windshield is in. I was cleaning up on the car to sit there for Pat and I to set the windshield tomorrow. And unfortunately, I ran out of time because I was going to blow off my live show, and I didn't get enough clean. We'll see. He's got a birthday party Saturday afternoon, and then he's got shooting. He's certified, so he's shooting on Sunday morning. So he might be done around 12 or 1, and then if that's the case, then we might set the windshield in the afternoon. And I got all the trim to go around the windshield, and I got a whole bunch of other parts. So yeah, and so now that the car's all buffed, and hold on, getting dry throat. Excuse me. Now that it's all buffed, we can sit there and start final assembly. And this is great. I can finally put parts on the car that don't have to come off. So I'm happy with that. I'll be back off with the wife to the water. What? Wait, hold it. I'll be back off with the wife to water the cemetery. Okay. All right. Well, if you're taking off, have a good one. So, and if everybody's wondering why the facial hair on my face is, I've applied to TSA for pre-check. In other words, I don't want to have to pull my computer out of my bag. I don't want to take my shoes off. I don't want to all that stuff. You just get in front of the line and everything else. So back in the day when I had my driver's license taken, I had this beard. Here, we'll show you. There's my license. So if I got to go, my appointment's with them Monday, so I'm going to have to sit there and look at least as close to what my driver's license looks like. And my birth certificate doesn't have a picture, so they don't know. So that's where we're at on that. If you didn't see last night, everybody was at Dizzy's. It was a madhouse. Sounded like those guys are having a really good time. And they did a video. Hazy got the guitar, which I'm really happy. Got to tell him it was set up for slides. Never mind. And so he did that, and so he was playing it for a while. He did get it in tune. I Forgot to tell him those strings are shot. He should replace those strings, and I did send him a new pack of strings with it. And on the other note, the clock raffle is still going on. There's a link in the chat. That does shine pretty good. And along with that, you get 2 different types of clock arms, gold and black. So you can change it for what you want. Tickets are $5 a piece, and the link is in the chat. So we got 3 people watching. Stand back. We're in the middle of our monsoon season, so we get our humidity bumps up to about 24%, and we've had clouds rolling in and out of this valley all week, well, since Wednesday. And today's the last day they say, and they're supposed to be gone. So, and then on that, let's see. Yeah, on that, yeah, that'll be the last of the rain until next week. So I am going to be balls to the walls on the car. I've got, let's see, when I look up, I'm looking at the calendar. I've got this show, which is the 26th. Then I'll have the show on Friday, August 2nd. And then on August 9th, I'll have a show. But August 16th, I won't have a show. I'll be in Indianapolis. Well, actually, no, the 16th, I'll be back in Dallas. That week on the 11th on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, I'll be in Indianapolis for code committee meetings. And then on Thursday afternoon, we fly to back to Dallas, and then I'm there for the weekend, and then I come back Saturday night. Did you bolt the subframe connectors? Subframe connectors that came from Heights for the Heights Pro G 4-link and their subframe. The back where the spring perch is, or back by the torque box, the subframe connectors bolt in there, and then they slide inside the subframe, and then you drill a 1/2-inch hole, and 1/2-inch grade 8 bolt goes through it. That's the way Heights came. Did that answer your question for you? Okay, I'm still trying to make CamaroCon, and that is October 11th, 12th, and 13th out at the Motor Speedway. Car won't be finished. It'll be darn close. Me and my son, the oldest, we just sat down and ordered all the stereo equipment. And I'm going to use Johnny 5. What's going on? And I'm going to use an old Kenwood deck until I can find a deck that I want to put in there. It's got Bluetooth on it. No, I wasn't going to weld them in. If I doubt I'm ever going to get rid of that car, it's going to go. When I pass on, it's going to go to both my sons. But I wanted the availability of being able to take it and put it back to stock if you want to. And I doubt anybody would be dumb enough to do something like that. But that's what I did. And that's why I chose the Heights frame, is because Detroit Engineering, that you weld, and you do a lot of welding, and this guy ain't the greatest welder. And Chris Atkins Chassis Works, theirs is bolt on, but I just didn't like the design and the look of theirs. And then there was the other, I can't remember there are a total of 4. It was Heights, Detroit Engineering, Chris Atkins, and what was the 4th one I was looking at? Who was it? God, I can't think. Well, there was a 4th one I was looking at, and I didn't like his. What sold me is, God, my brother still lives up in Haynesville, Illinois, my younger brother. And we're up to visit him. And this was several years ago, God. And I got pictures of this too. I should have thought I should have taken video, but I didn't. But at the time, Heights was located in Wakanda, Illinois. Now, I used to live in Wakanda, Illinois back in the late 70s after I got discharged from the Air Force. And we drove to Heights Shop and walked in, and I started talking to the one salesman face to face, the one that I was talking to over the phone. And he took me out into the shop, sat there and showed me their 67 Camaro. And at the time it was up in the lift, and that's when they were developing their independent rear suspension for the first gen Camaros. And I took pictures of their setup and how they put the subframe in and everything else. And then the guy sat there and he goes, and it was me and my two sons. That RAV4 is running awesome. Got a slight squeak on the driver's side. Just ordered new disc pads. And says, okay, cool. And so me and my sons were there. And so he sat there and he turned around and pointed to their second gen Camaro, which I think was a 70, 71, and asked if we wanted to take a ride in that. And he was selling, he's doing a sales bit. So first my youngest one went, and then my oldest one went, and then I went. And I'll tell you what, that thing was like on a rail. Come up to where a sign sits there and goes, you're going to make a right, and it's going to be almost 90 degrees. Speed limit's 25 miles an hour. He hammered that thing, and we went through there, and I was looking at the speedometer, and he took that at 50 miles an hour, and that thing was like on rails and just went through that corner. That right there sold me on Heights. It's just what they did above and beyond of what they did for, and everything else. I didn't try to go to Detroit Speed, and I didn't try to go to Chris Atkins, and I can't remember for the life of me, I can't remember the fourth one that I was looking at. But it sold me on Heights. And then every time that I would sit there and have an issue with it, installing it and everything else, I would call them in, and they would sit down and explain it to me and how it goes in, or this was a modification that didn't get in, and they'd send me the parts that sat there, the parts of the modification that happened that they found in their test vehicle, and they wouldn't charge me for it, which I thought was outstanding. The other thing they did is, I don't talk about these folks much, and I did a video on them, but in Henderson, Nevada, there's a place called Tucker's Classic Auto Parts. And if you ever go there to buy parts, you are the most idiot person on the planet, because those guys screwed me like there was no tomorrow. They were a Heights distributor, so I had to go through them. And I turned around, and I was going through them. I ordered everything, all the way down to the third member, which was 370, limited slip, the Curry 31 spline axles, the whole thing, all the way to the brakes. 2-inch drop spindles in the front, everything. And I told him, I said, give me a master cylinder. Here's the first thing. Okay. And I said, don't forget the emergency brakes, because Willwood, it's a separate, different type of rear brake on emergency brakes. Oh, excuse me. First, they screwed up and they forgot the emergency brakes. So then they tried to sell me this rinky-dinky little thing that a lot of street riders use. It locks the rear brakes, and it's a little push bob thing that you push down, and it locks pressure in the rear brakes. So I sat there and I said, no. We're going with rear emergency brakes the way they're supposed to. We're not going to do this rinky-dink stuff that you want because of your screw up. Then come to find out, I sat there and I said, now is this master cylinder, is it for 4-wheel disc brakes? Oh yeah, it's the right one. Don't worry, it's the right one. Well, no, it wasn't the right one. It was front disc, rear drum. And as you know, there's different drum brakes lock a little pressure into the system. And so taking them for their word, realized that I was sitting there part of my rear disc were locking up when I started taking the car around the block, testing it on various parts of the installation. So no, Tucker Classic Auto Parts, don't you dare go through to those guys. Don't, if you're in this town or ever. Those guys, I wouldn't let those guys work on my red Radio Flyer wagon. No, not even. So after a whole bunch of screw ups on their part and everything else, I took the rear brakes off, sold them to a guy on eBay, got the right rear brake from Willwood, and then turned around and the master brake cylinder, I didn't even make any money on it. I just sold it to get rid of it. And I think if Ruben has it on his Nova, and he sent it to him. I said, I'll give you a cut rate deal on it and just pay for the shipping. And I did. And he's got it on his Nova, which front was disc and rear was drum, and it works great. So yeah, Tucker Classic Autos and Classic Auto Parts, or classic cars. Don't even go to them. Don't even bother them. Don't even look them up in the web. Don't waste your time. There isn't a person in there that knows what they're talking about or knows what they're doing. So that fiasco on the car roughly set me back almost a month on bill time and close to almost $900 out of my pocket. So when I was getting the receipts from Tucker's, because they were a Heights distributor and everything else, they started charging me for stuff on the front Pro G subframe that was all part of the kit that came from Heights. So I turned around and called Heights and told them what they were doing, and Heights sat there and said, no, we don't do this. And they sat and they told me, they said, you want parts, different parts, or new parts, you call us direct. You sat there, and then they asked me if I wanted to be a dealer in Nevada. And no, there was no way I was going to be doing that dealing out of my garage. I got enough on my plate without doing that. And so then I just started calling Heights direct, and they were sending me, because they came up with a rear sway bar for the 4-link in the back, and I ordered that and got that. And then they came up with a bigger front sway bar for the front Pro G on the subframe, and I ordered that. And then they turned around, and there are a few other parts I ordered and everything else, but they were just outstanding, standing behind their product 100%. Car's been around the block a couple of times, and it's like driving a go-kart, I swear. I really think that it's going to be all sorts of fun. The parts I've ordered has been, like I said, the front windshield, the windshield trim, headlight buckets and the headlight rings, the headlights themselves. And what I did is, when you're going to look at the grill on the car, it's going to be all satin black. The turn signals, which are usually clear lenses, I colored the lenses to where they are an amber color. And then I'm putting the halo headlights in, which are black, projected headlights. So when that car's driving at dusk, you got the halos going, and then you got the parking lights on, which are amber, and everything else is black. So, and then the bumper is going to be body color. So I just realized something. Mark M ain't watching, and he was the band when I went to go get a beer. Oh man! So that's the car, and that's on the car. I got to check with the headlight people, and they'll be here. They should be here next week. But once I get the headlights, the front grille in, the headlights, turn signals, and everything else, then I'm going to start driving it. It's already got plates and insurance, and we're good to go. The side windows, I'm saving up now for an electric window kit for them. Put the side windows in, and that'll be the next goal. There's a ton of parts I've got already that will keep me busy probably for the next 3 weeks steady, putting the car back together. Pulled out the front air dam, and I got that out, and so we will get that drilled and installed. But with me putting 2-inch drop spindles on the car, I'm afraid that if I lower the car down, that I won't be able to, and that with the air dam on it, I won't be able to get the jack out from underneath it. So I'll pre-fit the air dam, measure it all up and everything else, get it in, then take it back out. And then when the car gets back down on 4 tires, I'll put the air dam in and assemble it that way. There is a center bar that goes from the air dam and goes back up to the subframe and drills into a hole in the subframe. Well, this is an aftermarket subframe, so mine doesn't have it. So what I'm thinking of doing is that should be the should be hollow in the center. I mean, it should thick gauge steel, but it should be open like square tubing or something. And I should be able to drill and put a nut cert in, and then I'll be able to bolt the center section up. And that's the game plan on the car so far. Like I said, it's I can't really do the interior, the carpeting, and the I'm going to put Dynamat down, then the carpeting. I can't do that until we do the stereo. And my son's going to be here at Christmas to do the stereo. But there's nothing saying that if I got headlights and I got turn signals and I got parking lights, I got brakes, and I don't have any side windows, that I couldn't drive the car. I mean, heck, it hardly rains here. Watch this. As soon as I get the car out on the road, I'm going to get caught in a rainstorm. But let's see what else. That's it on the car. So I touched base on that. We were still kicking around whether I'm going to want to do a 70 birthday bash here for me next year. And I turned 70. I'm an old fart. And we'll see on that. And let's see. That's about it. Oh, man. Hope everybody's weekend is going to start off with a bang this weekend. The UDizzy crew are out having dinner right now, or they're supposed to be. I don't know if they are or not. But, yeah. And let's see. Drive Shaft Drew, Captain Jerk, Mark M, AZ, Dizzy, Dave Collins, and that's all who I saw. Okay, let's see. Johnny 5. The Revs are 17 years old only. Done 50,000. Very well looked after. Looks like new inside. Gonna keep it up. Cool, Johnny 5. Those cars last forever, pretty much. So I think my mother-in-law. I think she has a Santa Fe. I'm not sure. And let's see. Are you planning on any major trips with the car? Car will probably stay in state most of the time. First of all, I'm going to tell you one thing is I don't trailer a car. No, that car will never go on a trailer. If it's going to be gone to a car show, then it's going to be driven to that car show. I don't believe in trailing a car or trailering a car. Every time there's a chip in the paint or something, that's a battle scar showing that car is driven. I believe possibly you get your 6 and 7 figure classic hot rods and cars and everything else. Yeah, trailer it. This car isn't that. That's a 2.0 engine. It's just okay. Cool. That's the main thing. Got to keep checking that transmission fluid. You got to service that transmission. That's what a lot of people don't do is service them automatic transmissions, and then they wonder why it burns up and dies. So no, that car will never hit a trailer. It'll be driven. And the only place that we're thinking of driving it, and I gotta put in again for another spot, is Hot August Nights up in Reno. And you gotta put in and you gotta get your parking spot. And usually it takes you almost 3 to 4 years to get a parking spot up there. I had one at one time and we got rid of it. I had turned it back in because I wasn't going. And so then you got to call. I got an application again and see if I can get one. There are enough car shows, and I don't care to win any prizes with it or anything else. It's just going to the show and looking at everybody else's car while your car's in the show. There are enough shows around this valley between Mesquite, Nevada, Henderson, Nevada, Boulder City, Nevada, and Las Vegas, Nevada. There are enough car shows throughout the year that, believe me, you'll be busy. Hell, you all know Kenny, Street Rider 100. You can see all the shows he goes to. And he makes it there. He makes it to all of them. And those are, and he doesn't get, I would say he doesn't get to all of them because there's a lot of them going on at the same time. And so, speaking of Kenny, he's in the process of flipping, what is it, a Nissan? and he picked up a Volkswagen project car right now. So I asked him if he wanted to be on the show today, and he's putting tire. I think he's hold on. I think he said he's putting tires on the car. Let's see what did we do last night? Kenny, where are you? Yeah, it's a Nissan. And let's see. Yeah, he's putting 4 new tires on it. He got the car to flip to make some money. And then I asked him, have you done anything with the bug? And he says, making a list. And he says it's getting long quick. They tend to do that. And on the interior on my Camaro is I'm planning on building a console. I have it drawn up in AutoCAD. I'm kicking around a few other things, but it's all going to depend upon the stereo. The deck I'm putting in this Christmas is a Kenwood deck with Bluetooth, and it'll go in a dash. The kid who had the car before me decided to cut out the stock stereo and location so we can put a basket in there and put one of the new decks in. And so what I did is I just trimmed it up, cut it out a little bit finer, and welded a couple of pieces of steel in there and made it into a nice rectangle to fit a basket in there for a deck. And so it'll go in there, but the next stereo will go into the console, and it's going to have a screen. So we can get GPS, everything, the whole night, everything on it. And then the console will go up all the way up through the back, and then up the back seat, and then up to the rear package tray. And then that way, because I put that fold down or up to the rear seat, because I put that fold down rear, not to the package tray, up to the rear seat. But I put a 91 fold down Camaro rear seat in the back of it so you get to the trunk. Yeah, it does, but you can always go to Classic Industries and buy another panel and just weld it on in. But it is what it is, and you just deal with it and move on. But I'm still kicking around whether I want to do it out of aluminum, the outside of build it out of aluminum and screw it together, or do it out of wood. Wood would be a lot cheaper and possibly a lot lighter if you do it with press board and stuff. Not OSB, but press board, and then cover it in a nice leather or vinyl black, because it's going to be black and white houndstooth interior with black carpeting, black door panels. And so, yeah, most of the components we went with was Kicker. Seemed to like that brand, and so I'm sort of like a brand specific guy. If I find a brand that I like, I'm going to stick with it. I mean, there's no point in it. They gave me good service in the past. Why change in the future? And that's me. And Kenwood has done that. I got a pair of Kenwood speakers out of my patio that I got in Southeast Asia, and that was back in 1972. And that kick ass just as good as the day I got them back in 72. So, like I said, I'm brand specific, and especially Kenwood. Yeah. So let's see what else. Talk about that. I didn't make an outline. I was out in the garage buffing on the car. I wanted to get enough done so I can get my son up here, Pat, and help me put the windshield in tomorrow morning. But he has a birthday party he's got to throw tomorrow afternoon, so he was on a limited time spot that he can come up and give me a hand tomorrow. And I just didn't get enough done on the car. And usually what I do is Saturday morning is for the show is I'll make an outline of what I want to go over, so that I don't have a momentary lapse of sanity. Old men. It's you got CRS. Can't remember SHIT, and then the next level is craft, and it's can't remember a fucking thing. Well, I'm between CRS and Craft. Angry Dog, what's going on? Angry Dog's in the house. Sitting here talking cars. So Johnny 5, it shifts okay. Do you really doesn't get that hot where you're at, right? So you really don't have to worry too much about burning the fluid in the transmission, correct? And never service, watching others learn all new stuff. We are all caravanning to the farm for a cookout. Cool. Maybe Hazy will string or two, sing one or two. Did he bring the guitar? Throw Dizzy in the pig pen. Yeah, so you don't have to worry too much about it's not, he said, nah, it's mild country weather-wise. Now, you don't have to worry about transmission fluid burning. Here in the summer, when you're got your car and it's parked over hot asphalt, which the sun bakes down on top of, and then you pull your car at a stoplight, you can imagine the temperatures that your transmission gets into. And a lot of people here don't sit there and get the transmission service on a yearly basis, and they go, I don't know, what happened to it? Well, hell, you burn the fluid out, and then the fluid's the one that keeps the clutches and everything lubricated, and now you burn it out. Got to go. Car is coming along great. All right, we'll see you later. Have a good one, Mr. Wilson. Pissing it down right now. Okay, Johnny 5. Yeah. So, yeah, that's I got a kick out of that. Back in Illinois, I had a 1970 Chevy van, which I got box eye springs and lowered it and put 50 series tires all the way around it. Ordered all old oil and trans and power steering fluid. Oh, all the oil. Ah, cool. You're going to do a complete flushing on it. Outstanding. And I lowered that, and I put 50 series tires on it, and then flares in the front air dam and everything else, and the whole 9 yards. And we put running boards on it, and I fixed it up on the inside. And we took the 350, and we built that up, and transmission went out on it. And I had a friend who worked at Amco Transmissions in Libertyville, Illinois, and so sat there, and he goes, it was a turbo 350, and he goes, he gave me a deal. He gave, what was it, $600. He gave me one of the guaranteed not to rust, bust, or collect dust for life transmissions as long as I own the car. That the transmission, all I had to do was bring it into them once a year, and they would service it and go away. We ended up putting almost 250,000 miles on that van, 2 engines. Hold on, Johnny 5 here. Every service, the history shows only 1,000 miles, and the old CPL owned the new ragged. Okay, fully maintained. Cool. And so they kept asking me towards the end before I got rid of it, are you ever going to sell it? You ever going to sell it? But we had 343 Posi in the back of it, and that thing would sit there and smoke the tires in second gear. And for a van, and it was funny. It sounded like it was going like a bat out of hell, but it's a big box on wheels, and sit there and it smoked the tires in second gear. So Angry Dog, what's at the cookout? See if he answers back. So Angry Dog's with him. Okay, cool. And let's see. So that was the van. Yeah, my oldest boy was 8 years old and helped me put the new engine in that thing when he was 8. He had torn the front end completely out because the engine comes out like this on a van. And put it in. And that was a 4-bolt main 350 with a mild RV cam in it and big heads on it and a big 4-barrel on it. Angry chicken and hot dogs. Well, you guys are just going to be barbecuing. Let's see, you got chicken, you got hot dogs and hamburgers Sunday, chicken and hot dogs tonight. So what's tomorrow night's menu? Nah, I don't know. Actually, what you need to do, Johnny Five, if you want a person of knowledge, see, knowledge I got on a car, you could probably fill this shot glass. Person you need to sit there and talk to is Anthony HO Motorsports. His knowledge goes far beyond my knowledge. I'm basically going out tomorrow night. Okay, I'm basically old school. 78, 79, back to the 50s. Yeah, past 79. No, I even take my cars now. I had a 2010 SS Camaro that went to the dealer. I had a 2012 ZL1 that went to the dealer. My wife's got a 2015 Equinox that goes to the dealer. I got a 2014 Malibu that sits in front of my house and that goes to the dealer. I don't do anything on those cars. I don't even change oil. It's just gotten too much for this old man to learn. That's why I got a 68 Camaro in the garage, because I know how to do that. But yeah. So let's see what else. Let's see. Those guys are going out to the farm. Okay. They bring it. Angry Dog, did you guys buy a keg? Let's see if they brought a keg to go. Harry, Hazy's boy. Yeah, kind of a large. Well, did you buy a keg for tonight? Did you get a kegger for tonight? We were at the liquor store right now. Get a keg. Or get a big cooler. Garbage. I can see a garbage can full of ice. I threw a party once. No keg. Okay. I threw a party once to where we used a bathtub and filled it full of ice and beer. Yes, cooler and ice. So, see, and you got Angry Dog. You got Mark, and tell him I need music being played because I got to go get a beer. Angry Dog, you done the bathtub tricks? Yeah, bathtub trick is usually the thing to do. And use Kid's pool, a kid's pool. Yeah, kid's pool. Yeah, that's pretty good. I just got, but if I throw a big enough party, I just soon just go get a keg, find out what everybody wants to drink, and just go get a keg and sit there and see if they can knock that off. Because that's tap beer. I mean, that goes down so smooth. And then just get a bunch of the party cups, red ones. You know what I'm talking about. So, see, Angry Dog, Johnny Five, hold on the fort for a minute. I went with Kate and to the store, got potato salad, macaroni salad, and condiments. Okay, Angry Dog, Johnny Five. Anybody else in there? Hold on the fort. Got to get a beer. If I keep talking, I'll lose my voice. Back in a minute. Sorry about that, guys. Phone beer. See, hold on, let me catch up in the chat. See, Angry Dog, I went with Kate and Tiny to the store and got potato salad and macaroni salad and condiments. Okay, and we'll do. Have a great time, and have a great time, Angry Dog. Okay. Thanks, Johnny Five. I wish everyone we knew was going to be there. Yep. Well, I'll be at the next one. Couldn't make this one with the amount of flying we do and the expense. Well, I don't have a Tina here, Angry Dog, to sit there and to go get a beer for me. It's just me. Stupid autocorrect. Clock raffle going on. Okay. I'll put it in the link. Tina. Okay, Tina. All right. Ooh, my beer. It's really cold. Look great on you, Walt. Oh, I hope you win it, Johnny Five. I hope you do. Got another idea for another clock, but we'll do that later on. See what happens. Okay, what time? Oh, holy smokes, we've been on 45 minutes and it's just been me, myself, and I? Ah, okay. I was hoping one of my sons would have been on by now. Damn, this beer is almost frozen. Oof, it's cold, it's good. So, Angry Dog, are you at the farm yet? That must be a hell of a caravan in Worcester. See, Dizzy's truck, Hazy's rental car, and see who else drove. Mark drove, okay. Angry Dog, I think you drove. And who else? There was somebody else. That must be a heck of a caravan. I'm going to try and pay cash. Didn't sleep last night. Heat wave here. A great show to have a great show tonight. Going to try and crash. Okay. All right, Johnny, you have a good one. We'll see you next time. Hope you go to sleep tonight. Don't tell Hazy you did that, Angry Dog, because he says it's his clock. And Johnny Five says it's going to look great hanging on his wall. Yeah, it buffed out pretty good. Darren would just clear him. He wouldn't buff him out. So let's see what else. See, we talked about the Camaro. We talked about the stereo going in the Camaro. We talked about the interior when that's going to go in. I got to order some door panels. My favorite catalog. I got to order some door panels. So I got to order the front door panels and get those coming. Daisy isn't driving, so he can drink. Okay. Dwayne, what's going on? How's the Nova, man? We're just hanging out, talking cars. I finished buffing mine, buffing mine. And the last piece, the cowl panel, dude, you're going to laugh at me. Last piece, right at the peak in the middle of it. I wasn't watching the buffing compound, got a little dry and burnt the crown of it. I'm going to have to pull my airbrush out and airbrush it. So that's how my morning went. I'm trying to hurry up and get this done so I can sit there and set the windshield tomorrow, but I'm not going to be able to do it. Angry Dog, did Dizzy crack his bottle of tequila yet? Dwayne didn't answer me on his Nova. He's getting really close on firing that thing up, last I saw. Going good. Just got home, but I got it started and starting to sand for the flow coat. Okay. Now I think I'm done painting. I got a little more touch up to do on the back, but for the most part, I'm done. If I'm going to do anything, I'll pull out my airbrush and feather a lot of that stuff in, and nobody will never know the difference. There's a couple more areas I got to do, and I just sit there, no masking, no nothing, just hold a piece of cardboard up and airbrush it, and you'll never know. Oh, excuse me. Ooh, just saw something. That printer right there. Yeah, I got to get rid of that. That's got to go donate it. So we'll donate it to the Vietnam veterans. I don't donate to charities or anything else. I just do it to the Vietnam veterans and to help my brothers and sisters and get them moving in the right direction. So let's see. Should I text one of my sons? See what's keeping them? Does anybody want to come on the chat in the panel? Anybody? Not yet? Okay. He's probably waiting for Sunday on that one. MD. No, I'm a Vietnam vet. I donate to the Vietnam veterans. And here's my reasoning behind that. Okay. Nowadays, this country is 100% behind the veterans. And it's fantastic. It's great. It's great. When I came back from Southeast Asia, I was in San Francisco International Airport after landing at Travis Air Force Base, trying to get on my flight to sit there to get down here to Vegas, where Nancy, my fiance, was. And as I'm running through the airport, I'm in the Air Forces. They were called 1505s. They were in a khaki uniform, and I'll remember this to the day I die. And this blonde girl sits there and spits all over my ribbons on the left side. And she was chewing tobacco, and it just made a big freaking stain. And it just pissed me off. Well, I had my little AWOL bag with me, and I went into the bathroom, and I changed into civilian clothes, rolled those up, and went back and missed my flight to Vegas from San Francisco International. Lady at Hughes Air West sat there and asked me what the problem was, and I told her, I said, I just got back from Southeast Asia. I'm trying to get down to Vegas to see my fiance before flying on to Illinois. Hold it. Your dad was a vet, Vietnam vet? Good. They're all about the veterans that are committing suicide. Yeah, that's sickening. And Hughes Air West, and we called it, back then we called it the Flying Banana. And I told her, and she sat there and said, hold on. She made a few phone calls, and And I even showed her the uniform where the girl spat on it. And she made a few phone calls, and she sat there, and she got me on a flight from San Francisco International down to LAX. And then they held the plane at LA, and then LA to Vegas. And I got in here at Vegas. I was in here into Vegas about 45 minutes late, but that's that blonde girl in the floppy hat in fucking San Francisco International Airport. And that time I swore I'll never go back to that freaking city again, and I haven't. C-141. MD Country Cooking asked Travis Air Force Base, did you come back on a C-141 or a C-5? Nope, C-141. I went from Korat, Thailand to Clark Air Force Base on a C-5. They were playing basketball in the cargo deck. That was your first aircraft? Were you crew chief or loadmaster? Pilot, co-pilot, navigator? A buddy of mine, my best man, actually at my wedding, Don Collins, he was a loadmaster on 141s. I'm a master mechanic on it. Oh, we retired though. Yeah, they retired the last one. Okay. Well, yeah, I was a crew chief on F4s. So yours was a little bit bigger than mine. Mine moved mud though and shot down other MiGs. Yeah, Don Collins was my best man. He was a load master on 141s. All right, Dwayne, you have a good one. We'll catch you later. Enjoy your evening. 2A57. I was a 43151C. And then somebody comical stuck a U prefix behind my number, and that sat there and got me to sit there and state that I was F-111 qualified. And the only thing I knew that if I had that much fire coming out of my ass, I'd fly too. Bought the F-111. Well, I hope you do, Dwayne. Catch a full show one day. Oh, I haven't heard from Angry Dog. I wonder if they're at the farm now. Angry Dog, did you guys make it to the farm? Well, it's going to be a late night for them, so I don't expect to see Hazy or Dizzy tonight. So scratch those two. And we're on our first hour. One more hour to go. It's 3:52 here in Vegas. You're now on the C-117. I heard that isn't. Yeah, both crew chiefs. Yeah. I've also been on a C-130. I was thinking of changing career fields when I was at Ubon, Thailand, and becoming a flare kicker on an AC-130. But then one of my buddies who talked me out of it, and primarily it was probably mostly the alcohol talking at the NCO club one night in Ubon, because Jake was a crazy son of a bitch. He'd come back and tell us stories. They were flying over the trail one night, and the flare kicker is if you saw Sam coming up, you're kicking, the ramp is lowered on the 130, and you're kicking flares out. Hold on, wait. I'm 11 months away from retirement. Holy smokes. Cool. It's boring. It's better to be a worker than to be the boss. But when you get old, it's better to be the boss than to be the worker. I don't think I could lift up an F4 main tire right now. And I used to just throw those around like they were nothing. And so the ramp on a 130 would be down. Jake would be hooked up to almost like a parachute harness, hooked up to an inertial reel, and he'd be on a full helmet with an intercom on it. And he'd be holding on to the hydraulic cylinder that held the ramp and be looking out the back of there. And he'd be calling AAA shots coming up at the aft of the aircraft, or SAM's coming up at the back of the aircraft. when Flair's shit's getting real. Yeah. And so he's sitting there, and they're over the Ho Chi Minh Trail, and they're just lighting it up. They hit a convoy, and they're just lighting it up. He's telling us at the NCO club one night, and the aircraft is just bouncing all around, and he says, "I'm hanging onto that cylinder for dear life," and the ramp actuator, right? And he's sitting there bouncing around and everything else, and he's calling up AAA. He's calling up a couple of SAMs. He's kicking some flares out the back and everything else. And then all of a sudden, it was. He said there was like a burst that came up. He said AAA. It just came up, and he called the pilot. And sat there, and the pilot sat there, and he said, "Drop down, drop down." And so, pilot dove the 130 down a little bit, and then pulled it back up. Sit there. Meanwhile, Jake lost his grip on the actuator, the ramp actuator, or the hydraulic cylinder, or whatever, and sit there, and he was out now, bouncing around in the back of the aircraft, underneath the back by the tail. Hey, Pat.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Nothing much. I'm telling a war story. Let me finish.
Okay.
So Jake's bouncing up on there and everything else, and the whole 9 yards, and he keys his headset, and he says, "Sir, permission to come aboard, sir." And the pilot says, "What the fuck? What's going on?" And Jake sat there, and he says, "Sir, I need somebody to pull me in." And so they had to pull him back in, grab the inertial wheel, and pull him back in, and sit there and get him back onto the back of the ramp and everything else. Jake sat there and said he needed to clean his flight suit out at the end of that mission. AC-130 flare kicker, I knew, Pat. You muted yourself.
I know.
Okay.
I'm down.
T-Dub's gonna be a little late.
No worries.
He made the major mistake when he was up in Utah.
Yeah.
And sat there and went out for filet one night and took a picture and showed Chrissy.
Really?
Yeah, so now he's cooking fillets tonight.
That's funny.
We now have a retrieval winch on both sides of the aircraft. Is that in a gunship, or is that just in the standard C-117? MD Cooking in the chat. He's a crew chief on 117s.
Hat. H-A-T, hat.
It's to pull hung jumpers and loads that. Oh, okay. All right. Well, flares now are automatically pumped out of the 130s or the gunships. You no longer need a crew member back there kicking them out the back ramp. Yeah, with Jake's hazard, his duty pay and his flight pay and everything else, he sat there and inside of 8 months of flying time over there, had a brand new Harley sitting for him when he got back to the States. And he had to pick it up in San Francisco, California, and he was riding all the way back. And I think he was from West Virginia, and he was going to ride it all the way back to West Virginia on his 30-day leave. Okay, what's going on with my son?
It's going upstairs.
Oh.
It's too damn loud downstairs in the TV room.
Now, besides, you're going to lay down in bed anyway.
More comfortable. I got a training with Terry Paul, I think, in August. So I'll talk to him about getting some City Las Vegas patches for you.
Okay. Get me 3 of them if you can. I want to keep one and send 2 to you, Dizzy.
I'll see what I can do.
All right. So we have, several sensors all over the aircraft. Mm-hmm. Oh, new toys. See, you guys get all the new toys. Now, you said we have LAIRCM. LAIRCM. It's a laser that shoots out the eye of incoming missiles.
Okay. So,
Tell Brianna no.
I was about to.
I said it for you. Liarcom? Liarcom? Lairc. Hell, I can never talk anyway, so what the hell? Yeah, MD, I was a crew chief on, let's see, here at Nellis, I was crew chief, crew and C models when I was over at Ubon 8 Tech Fighter Wing. In Thailand, I was doing D models. And then at MacDill Air Force Base in Florida, I was on E models. And then I got back to Hill Air Force Base, 388 Tech Fighter Wing, and I was on D models then. And I was getting out. I got out just as the F-16 was coming in. On the 141, we only had the one button. I know the pain you're speaking of. Okay. Yeah, 141s were neat. You flew backwards. What's the matter?
Me?
Yeah.
Just tired.
Oh. What cert you going for tomorrow?
Monday, fire plans examiner.
No. Shooting tomorrow. Or is it just to keep your cert going?
No, it's no cert, just IDPA again.
Oh, okay.
It's our monthly match, so. Yeah, my CCW doesn't expire for a while, so.
Okay. So you're good on that. I didn't get the whole car clean the way the front clean the way I wanted to. I just fell behind this morning.
It's all right. I was supposed to go sign some drawings because apparently county kicked them back just because of there was no wet signature.
Nice set.
Yeah, but I guess Jason Dixon called me Thursday, and I told him it was me, so he went ahead and approved it.
Oh, okay.
But the company I did it for didn't tell me that they went ahead and approved it, so I waited there for a half hour at Clark County this morning for nothing.
MD, he's a fire inspector.
No, I'm not.
You're not?
No, I'm not.
Okay, what are you?
I just work for fire prevention.
You're not a fire inspector?
No, I'm not.
Your card doesn't say fire inspector?
No, it says fire prevention inspector, but I'm not allowed to say fire prevention at all, otherwise I get in trouble.
From who?
Valerie.
God.
Yeah, go figure, right?
So what are you supposed to say? Building inspector?
Fire safety.
Fire safety?
Yep.
I say what I want to say, and until you change the Constitution of the United States and take away my freedom of speech, I'll say what I want to say.
No, I actually told her in front of Dale. I said, well, my card says fire prevention inspector. My city ID that I got when I took my picture and was hired on says fire prevention inspector. So why can't I say fire prevention when I answer the phone?
I just tell her the way it is. Nah, MD, I'm a retired Henderson fire inspector. He works for the city of North Las Vegas. So, am I starting to look like I did back, 10 years ago, Pat, when I had this beard?
Yeah, with the butch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to love TSA. On the island, when you come to the house, there's a manila envelope. It's got all your paperwork in it.
Okay. Yeah, I got my appointment, I think, on crap, I can't remember. It's in August sometime.
Okay.
But I figured I might as well pay the $85 and do it. So
I go Monday and get it all taken care of. I finally got the birth certificate from the state of Illinois.
August 9th.
Okay, I work with a lot of fire chiefs. Okay, we own the base's largest hazmat farm. What base are you on? I'm. Are you looking at the chat too, Pat? Okay.
Yeah, I got my iPad open.
Okay. MD, what base are you at? See what he comes back with.
You can order birth certificates online now.
I know. I ordered it online. Frickin' state of Illinois. Highway robbery, $47.
It's only, I think, 50 for Nevada, because that's what I was looking at when I texted you last night.
Oh, the Joint Base McGuire DIX Lakehurst. Okay. New Jersey. All right. All right. Dude, you need to come out to the West Coast. More fun out here. You don't have to shovel the white stuff if you get the right base. But then if he's C1, he's C117 and C130 qualified, only place he can get to is probably Travis. I think is the. I'm gonna show my old school here. Is probably the only MAC base on the West Coast. There, how's that?
From Washington State. Nice.
Yeah, but it used to be SAC, TAC, and MAC, and it's not that anymore. But so that's where I was in. I was in the Tactical Air Command.
Red Flag's been doing a lot lately.
Cord Air Force Base has 55 C-117s. Okay. All right. Let's see. Dizzy's birthday party is this weekend. So Hazy Days is there. Angry Dog is there. Dry Shaft Drews. Everybody's there, and they're on their way up to the farm for a barbecue.
Nice.
And so they said they might come in. Last night they put on. They were all up in Dizzy's little apartment. Everybody, and it was a party going on. Travis now has C7. So I thought Travis also had C5s. Who's got the remaining C5s? There's only a handful of those left in service, aren't they? The B models, right? So they have both. Okay. Yeah. Dover has some too. All right. So T-Dub's going to be a little late. I expect him here probably in the next 10, 15 minutes.
No problem. I might bounce a little early. I still got to go to Walmart and get ammo.
Okay. 40 cal?
45.
You're shooting your 45?
Yep.
So you have been shooting them. You still have a 40 cal, or is it all 45?
No, I still have a 40.
Oh, okay.
I just shoot the 45 since that's my daily carry.
Invite the chat. You want to come in? You want to come in on the panel?
Oh.
MD.
He can.
Yeah, you can. You know my email address, MD? Send it to me. Send me your email and I'll send you the link.
See, that's a real gun right there. It's what men shoot.
Okay, and I just shoot a cap gun then. Okay.
Yeah, 1911. Which reminds me, I should probably oil it too for tomorrow.
God, my gun hasn't been shot in probably 4 years, hasn't been oiled in 4 years.
Come out and shoot it tomorrow. I'll be your safety officer for the day.
I want to keep working on the car.
No, I don't blame you. I'm going to see if I got jumbled around.
Okay. Still nothing from MD Cooking. Okay. Oh, he sent me his email. Okay,
So send him the link.
I am. As soon as I get everything going here. New email. Now I got to recopy it.
Oh man,
What?
there's a lot of openings tomorrow.
All right, he's got the link.
Okay. And I'm gonna place third in my division tomorrow
You haven't even shot. How do you know that?
because I can just tell by who signed up.
Oh. Is Greg going to be there?
Yeah. Actually, oh yeah, third. I was gonna say I might get second, but probably third.
Okay. So if I get the car ready and everything else, I should be go for Saturday afternoon, and it shouldn't take us more than an hour,
I mean Sunday.
or Sunday, and it shouldn't take us more than an hour.
No problem. It'll probably be at least 2:00 because I want to come home and take a shower first, since I'll be out in this heat all day. Well, all morning at least.
Well, why? You're going to come here and you're going to be out in the heat too.
All right.
You're not going to offend me.
Okay.
I mean, all we got to do is, here's the scenarios. We put the windshield in, we center it and get it to where we want it. We mark to where we got to put the hold down tabs down by the lower portion. There he is.
What's up, my brother? My brother crew chief. Oh my God. How rare it is to find a crew chief out here. They're usually what we call pointy heads, them spectards.
A retired, not retired, but an ex-crew chief.
Well, you know what, dude? I'm okay with it because that means you're a knuckle dragger, just like me, brother. That's what we is. We's knuckle draggers.
Yeah, drag the toolbox out to the flight line, sit around at your aircraft, and sit there and try to figure out why the hydraulics, engine, electronics.
Do you know how bad I wish I was? How bad I wish I worked on aircraft right now, man. God, if I didn't have to work on EPRs and discharges and demotions, and I hate paperwork so much, Tom. I hate it. I want to fix airplanes.
I understand.
That must suck.
Yeah.
Oh, rank sucks. I'm telling you right now. When you get promoted, it's the worst thing in the world. You get more money, but your job, you go home and you go, I'm gonna suck on a shotgun tonight. No, I am.
Well, yeah. Or the other thing, you got that young troop that just came in who he's all full of everything else and wants to bump heads with you.
Oh, dude, you know what, Tom? That's the best day I get in the week. When I get that one young kid who's like, I know what the hell I'm doing. I'm like, oh, thank you, God. Thank you, God, for giving me someone to destroy today. Because then the section chief they're like, oh, well, now you get to go talk to the flight chief. And he's like, oh no, because they all know of me. They're like, Sergeant Khan's a dick. And I'm like, oh, I'm not a dick. I'm Satan. And when you come to my office, I will destroy you. It's the only joy I get in my job, I'm telling you.
Oh, man, I'm glad I got out.
No, Tom, you wish you would have stayed in, brother. You are the right person, man. I'm telling you, you would have screwed so many airmen over. I would have loved to have watched it.
Actually, my two last Jeeps I had, one just passed away.
Jesus Christ.
I was in contact with him. That was Mark Ander. And the other one, Mike Dowling, is up in New Hampshire, and we talk regularly. But these guys,
He was your chief?
huh?
He was your chief, you said?
No, it was my Jeep. We call trainees Jeeps back then.
Oh, Jesus. Gee, you're telling your trainees are dead? Tom, oh my God, I feel old as shit.
Yeah. So,
I'm as senior as it gets at my squadron, so that means I'm dead in like 5 years. Oh my God, no. When it comes to expertise in senior, it's me. I'm it.
you're it.
Fuck, I hate getting old. Tom, getting old sucks, man. I
Hey,
remember when I first joined and I was some skittish little airman, and now I'm the old chief that everyone's like, that guy's this crusty old dick. And I'm like, am I really?
what was it? Back then, when you're a young airman, you sit there and look at the master sergeant or the senior master sergeant or even the tech sergeant. You freaking lifer.
Yeah. You lifer, you weirdo, you know. Now I get master sergeants that look at me and be, you're a crusty old chief. And I'm like, you know what? You're a dick. How about that? You know what? When it comes to senior NCOs, I'm okay for a chief. I mean, I am down to earth. But maybe my problem is I look forward to people fucking up, and I'm like, God, because my job is so boring. When people fuck up, I'm like, do I get to talk to them, or is it handled on a lower level? They're like, it's handled on a lower level. I'm like, oh, can they mess up more so they talk to me?
Oh man.
So wait, this guy he's a preventative fire inspector, but you're not a fire prevention inspector because you're not allowed to say, listen, you're a fucking fire prevention inspector. We all got it. But fuck that lady who tells you that. I'll punch her right in her vajayjay. Sorry, Tom, I'm ruining your channel. My bad.
Okay.
Hope you like it.
I'm not worried.
You said she'll probably like it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Biker chick.
this girl Valerie is a piece of work. You if you met her, you'd know it.
When I said I'll punch her in the vajayjay and Patrick said she'll probably like it, at that moment I knew Patrick and me were going to be friends.
Probably been ages since her husband's touched her there.
Oh God, that poor man. Can you imagine going home to that every night? It's a nightmare.
Yeah.
So what we used to do is sit there and go up to the guy and shake his hand, and shake the guy's hand, and he goes, "Why?" And I sat there and said, "You took her off the market, man. We don't have to deal with it."
Yeah, good job. Jesus. What is Valerie's job?
Building official. She's like in charge of all the building inspectors, the fire inspectors.
So do you work for the fire department or for the city?
I technically work for the city, but here's where it gets a little stupid. I get the same benefits as a firefighter.
Are you technically like emergency management or?
Not really, no.
What the fuck department are you?
Exactly. This is like where it's out in Las Vegas. It's gotten so weird that even the fire inspectors aren't part of the fire department anymore.
So I'm not talking about like what's your duty title. What does your job entail? What do you do?
Pretty much just new construction. Any new buildings come up, go look at the sprinkler system, fire alarm system, annual permits, go do annual permit inspections, quantify, classify, hazmat. Now,
Patrick, let me ask you this. So I have my OSHA 30-hour, OSHA 15-hour, OSHA 30-hour. I have my associates in aeronautical engineering. I have my bachelor's in emergency management. I also have about 18 years worth of hazmat disposal and hazmat readiness. Can I work for you? Because I'm getting ready to retire.
Qualified.
What's that?
You're overqualified.
Fuck that, dude. Can I take some shit off my resume and then still come work for you, dude? I will, dude. I'm ready, dude. I'm telling you right now. I have 85% disability. Plus, I'm going to be pulling in $4,200 a month, doing nothing, just my retirement check, okay, from the military. You can pay me minimum wage as long as I don't got to do shit. And be like, hey Andy, let's go fuck with those guys, that company over there that's building that building. Be like, dude, I got this. I will be the guy that's a dick.
Driving around 2005 clapped out Ranger. Yeah, you can do it.
Oh, hell yeah.
The city of North
Dude,
Las
that's
Vegas,
right.
we
Right
can't-
now,
Go
Hey,
ahead.
Ron.
7 months from the military, and I'm right now. Seriously, I all my bullshit aside, I'm pulling in $4,200 a month just from retirement and disability. All my medical benefits are already paid for me and my dependents from the military, and I just want a job where I can kind of not go insane. You know what I mean?
Yep. I hear you.
Are you guys hiring where you're at or what?
In North Las Vegas, not right now, but I believe there's another jurisdiction, ironically, that my dad used to work for, the city of Henderson. They're looking for some fire inspectors right now.
And that's in Nevada?
Las Vegas, it's still in Las Vegas. It's a suburb. Yeah, that's where Las Vegas is kind of weird. We have 4 AHJs in one valley. We have City of North Las Vegas, City of Las Vegas, Clark County Fire Department, and then the city of Henderson.
So my oldest right now is, I just sent her off to college, which I'm paying for full time. And let me tell you, fuck my life. She's going to New Mexico State University.
Okay.
My other daughter, who graduates high school next year, just got accepted into Texas A&M. I have to pay for that too. I'm gonna kill myself. So I'm trying to get out that way. So when they fail out of college, they can move back home, and I don't have to pay too much for their plane tickets.
Yeah. Go to Dallas. You can't go wrong in Dallas.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, when my oldest was like, I'm going to New Mexico State University and I'm going to become a psychologist, I was like, no, can you go to a community college and become like a welder? I was like, that's a lot of school I got to pay for.
Go to grade school.
Yeah, I was like, how about you become a Walmart greeter? Is that not a thing or no?
Hey, that's my future job.
Listen, Tom, is that not paradise to you? Oh my God, that sounds like paradise. If I had to sit out for and be like, hey, welcome to Walmart, go fuck yourself. Welcome to Walmart. That's like the best job in the world.
Everybody that would come in and if they had shoes, and welcome to Walmart. Oh, your shoes untied, and see how many people bent down to sit there and tie their shoe.
My ideal job, honestly, is to work for Cabela's, but I want to go there and be like, listen, I don't want to work a register. I don't want to stock shelves. I just want to walk around the floor and talk to people about hunting gear. That's like the best job in the world to me. I'd be like, hey, I get to leave whenever I want. You pay me whatever you want. I don't care. I just want to come in here and not go insane.
Like a used bow salesman or something.
Oh my, do you say bow? Like,
yeah,
bow?
Yeah.
That's, oh my God. Patrick, Tom, Patrick is my new love of my life. He knew the exact thing to say to me. I am an archery hunter through my heart. Like, that's what I do for Patrick.
Here. All right. I found it. Hold on. Hold the fort.
Oh, wait. I hope your pants are on.
Yeah, hold the fort. Hang on.
Patrick got what I was saying.
Here's his business card. What does it say?
City of North Las Vegas. Okay.
Yeah, but what's his title? Hold it. Wait.
I can't see.
It.
All right, hold on. Let me present. Okay.
It says pornographic film fluffer. What is that?
No,
That's when you fluff the film.
Okay, I got you, Tom.
All right.
I'm clicking on your thing.
Can you see it now? No, I'm looking at the screen. Well, what his card says is it says fire prevention inspector. There.
Okay.
Well,
So why the hell is this chick? What's her name again?
Valerie.
What's her number? I got to do some prank calls or something.
She's off next week.
So, I'm first sergeant next week. Unfortunately, I've got the first sergeant duty.
Oh,
because
you know,
our first...
you know what I did to my first sergeant? I'm sitting in the NCO club, and this is it, Hill Air Force in
I got you.
Utah, and my oldest son was just born, and I'm looking like this because I've been out 2 weeks leave, and we're sitting there drinking beers and we're getting shit faced and everything else. And he comes up to me, he goes, Sergeant Noble, and I go, yes, sir. And he goes, you need to shave, and I go, you need to change your underwear. He got pissed at me. When you're getting I want you in my office. And I said, you know what leave means? And he goes, what? And I said, leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah, leave me the fuck alone. So this is what happened. I'm the chief in our squadron, so I thought I was above all this bullshit. All the other leadership is on leave. The first sergeant, who's a master sergeant, he says, hey, I'm putting in for a leave next week. Me and my wife and kids are going on a cruise, a Disney cruise, blah, blah, blah. And so I approve the leave. He sends it to me. I approve the leave. I'm like, you got it. No worries. Well, rookie move. I didn't look at the schedule for flight leadership, squadron leadership. I am the next one in the chain because it's me, then the commander. And I was like, oh no! And then the shirt comes and goes, hey, I need you to take the shirt phone next week since I'm on leave. And I was like, you motherfucker. And I've got 3 discharges next week, 2 demotions, and 4 admin actions that I got to do. I was like, I hate you now because I like yelling at people. Now I got to ruin people's lives next week. It's terrible. I literally have to kick 3 people out of the Air Force, take 3 people's stripes, and then do a bunch of people's like admin actions where I'm basically threatening them with removing them from the Air Force. And I'm going, oh, can I just be the nice guy for a little bit? I like doing that. It's pretty fun. But all the people in my squadron are terrified to me as it is. They're like, that guy is mean. Because I'm the guy that they see when they've totally screwed up. When there's no one else to see, they send him to me and they're like, well, Sergeant Chief Khan's gonna fuck you up. You ready? And I'm like, no. God damn it.
Well, what did they say? Rank has its privileges.
Well, no, wait. It's the burden of command, I think is what they say, Tom.
See, that's one reason why I'm glad I got out. I mean, the wife and I were all ready to make it a career. My wife is an Air Force brat, by the way.
Oh, so's my wife. Her dad is a retired intel officer. Fucking pointy head dude.
Her dad was retired as a master sergeant, and he was in radar, or whatever he did. I never had
controller.
Forward air controller. That's right. And so
forward air controller. He was TAC P.
Yeah.
So, dude, your father-in-law's a badass.
No, he spent a lot of time overseas.
So TAC P, honestly, TAC P. And pararescue are the only 2 special ops in the Air Force.
Well, my best friend was a PJ.
Yeah, he's a pararescue?
Yeah.
Dude, pararescue are basically the SEALs of the Air Force.
Yeah.
And then the under SEAls are TAC P.
Yeah. Reggie was a PJ. He'd tell me stories that like there was no tomorrow, and he's not with us anymore.
I'm sorry, brother, man.
Yeah.
But hey, my respect to that dude because I've got nothing respect for retirees, man, or vets of the Air Force. I'm telling you, because I know what it's like. But that dude went through some shit.
We were at Hill, and we were all set there. And we talked about it, and she said, "You want to make it?" I said, "I can make it a career." I said, "I have no problem doing this stuff."
You were at Hill?
Yeah.
In Utah?
Yeah.
Dude, see, this is me. Tom, how have we not talked like this before? I did not know you were in Air Force, dude. Oh my God, Tom. We've had so much to discuss to leave everyone else in the dark where they're like, what the fuck are these 2 talking about?
But yeah, so we went, and she said she wanted to get back down here to Nellis because she was from Vegas. And I said, okay, fine. And so I said, the only way I'm going to do that, and he said, and because it's a while before I get to re-enlist, it's about a year. We're about 18 months left for this enlistment to be up. And she goes, yeah. And I said, so I'll put in for the Thunderbirds. And she goes, okay. And God, that is Oh,
Oh.
talk about a nut buster getting through that.
Yeah, you don't want that job because we used to carry the Thunderbirds with us, and it's not like launching planes. It's like honor guard meets aircraft maintenance. Am I
Mhm.
right?
Yeah. Well, I put in for the Thunderbirds and everything else, and I got accepted. And we're sitting there going, okay, we're going back to Nellis, and they're getting ready to cut my orders. And then the 3D8 TAC fighter wing commander sat there and said, "No, I'm rescinding all orders. You're frozen to the base. I'm keeping all my experienced crew chiefs with the new F-16 coming in." I go,
Dude,
"You
those guys are dude. That happens all the time, man. That's such bullshit.
Yeah, well, I sat there and he goes, "Well, you were going to sign an extension to sit there and go to the Thunderbirds." And I says, "Well, I ain't signing an extension for your ass, sir."
Yeah, no shit.
And so I sat there and I said, "I wanted the Thunderbirds. I didn't want you."
That man, I'm sorry, because Thunderbirds would have just like it would have been like a catapult for your career.
Oh yeah, it would have been outrageous. But I mean, I got accepted, and it's still, you got your probation period down here at Nellis and everything else. But I would have busted ass to stay in that.
Patrick, do you know what Thunderbirds are for us?
Pat just left. I don't know.
Yeah, I do.
It's basically the Blue Angels, you know, the air show. It's the Air Force's air show of F-16s that we got.
He's my oldest son, or my youngest son. He knows everything about Air Force, believe me.
Patrick is your oldest son?
My youngest son.
He's your... Oh, my God. Tom, I love your fucking family, dude. I immediately loved Patrick, and now I know he's related. Oh, this... Man...
Yeah, since I work in North Las Vegas, I get to see all the Thunderbirds practicing before they go out and start doing their tours. I get to see all the I see C-17s, F-15s, 22s. I get to look at them all day long.
So do you guys so I know Creech is like 2 hours from there. Do you guys know what Creech is?
Yeah.
That's where the drones are from, right?
Yeah.
That's the drones.
Indian Springs.
Indian Springs.
You call it Creech all day long. We'll call it Indian Springs.
Listen. I go off of what my AMS aircraft or Air Force management system calls it, where I can put in for orders, because I put in for orders every day. I'm like, how about that assignment? Can I have something different? I hate my job.
You ready for this?
Okay.
My wife's uncle was base commander at Indian Springs Creech in 1968 till 1971.
So he knows about aliens, is what you're telling me.
I don't know about aliens.
He does. I'm telling you right now.
Well, he's no longer with us, too. God, everybody I'm telling you about is no longer with us.
Tom, quit depressing me. Jesus. Hold on, Tom. I think I need some more booze. I'm going to be right back. Patrick, I like you. Don't go anywhere.
No worries.
So where are you going now?
Who?
You. Oh, we only got 2 watching now, so.
Had to drain the main vein.
Huh?
Had to drain the main vein.
Oh.
And you didn't bring the camera with you? Jesus.
I did.
Just turn the microphone off. Well, since everybody else is drinking, I figure I might as well join.
Tequila. I'm on that low carb diet right now, so I can only drink straight booze because there's no carbs in it.
Gin and vodka is your best friend.
But I've been 22 days on this keto low carb diet. I'm down 18 pounds, Tom, and I'm eating bacon, steak, pork. Like I'm eating like the food that you go, oh my God, I want to eat that. I get to eat it. I just don't get to eat pasta, bread, sugars, anything. But dude, I'm down some serious weight just doing that.
Damn.
And
I stay away from bread and pasta and but every now and then I'd sit there and I gotta have something. It's like today the wife went to Capriati's, which is the same sandwich place here, and I had to have the cheesesteak. I'm sorry.
So we have here in Pennsylvania, which is in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, called Wawa. And it's basically like 7-Eleven, but they have their own Subway type thing inside of it. And they
Yeah.
make hoagies is an East Coast thing. And right now, which is terrible, they have the $5 hoagie special going on, and it's like do you know how much damage I could do for $20?
That 18 pounds could be bad.
Oh, man, I'm telling you, I'm like, do those come in suppository or no? But I'm like, they're that good. They're so good. But I've been good. I've been good.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I don't worry about it anymore. If it is, hey, it's the only thing that's paid for.
When I retire at 11 months, Tom, my fucks go out the window. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna be on the next My 600-Pound Life for that guy. I'm gonna be like, listen, dudes, you guys got to build another door for my house because I'm about to eat the shit out of this food.
So, in 11 months, that gives you 20?
Yeah, well, I'm already at 20 now, but I had an active duty service commitment for the promotion that they gave me. So it's like, hey, to sew on this rank, you got to have something. So I sewed on. I'll be at 21 and a half, which is okay.
Basically, the Get Chief, they sat there and told you, give us another 18.
Yeah, exactly. And they said, hey, to get this, you got to fuck yourself. And I was like, oh, man. But when they do that to you, it's like a giant increase in pay. And so it's a giant increase in retirement. And you're just like, oh, I guess. That's basically what you do. And you're like, they're like, sign your name here. And you're like, oh.
That's like when I was overseas in Thailand. When I was in Thailand, I was due to get out. And they sat there and they go, well, did you know what a VRB is? And I go, VRB. And he goes, variable reenlistment bonus. I go, no.
Yeah.
And they go, no, you don't? And I go, no. And I says, you know you're in a war zone? And I go, yeah. Well, if you're in a war zone and
tax-free.
It's tax-free.
Yeah.
Pay taxes on it. And they go, yeah. And they go, well, give us another 4 years and we'll give you $8,400. I go, where the fuck do I sign?
Yeah, right? See? They got you right in the ass, Tom.
Yeah.
But see, so right now I'm looking at it. I'm like, I'll do it. So I got it. But here's the benefit. Here's the benefit right now. So when you get old, Tom, let me tell you, when you get old in the military, your body hurts, right? Your body just hurts. Now imagine 21 years in, you're like, fuck this. My knees hurt. My back hurts. I wake up and I think I got beat up by some giant fucking Samoan. And I'm like, I don't know what happened, but my body's destroyed. Well, when you get your approved retirement date and you are within 12 months of retirement, you have your approved retirement date, guess what? You are exempt from PT testing.
All right. Let me ask a question. I want to see how much it changed. At your age, and I'm figuring you're probably mid-40s.
Hey, thank you. Well, you know what? That's kind of a dick. I'm 39. God damn it. I look like I'm old as fuck. God.
And I'm guessing from a camera. Come on. If I ask you,
listen, no, Tom, you're not wrong on appearance. The military has aged me on a ridiculous level.
Okay, so
a reverse time machine.
Because PT goes by age. Okay, so
it does. It goes from.
What's the time for you to do the mile in then?
I have to do them. So now my requirement at 39 years old, I have to do 1.5 miles in 13 minutes and 30 seconds. I have to be able to do 55 push-ups in under a minute, and I have to be able to do 60 sit-ups in under a minute.
Holy smokes. So now it's a mile. Before it was a mile.
Do you remember? Well, then it went to ergo testing where it was a bike, and they measured your, like, blood pressure and heart rate. And then it went to, we're just going to fill out your PT test for you while you're gone. And when you come back, you sign for it. And I was like, I like this one.
Yeah.
but now it's a mile and a half in under 13 minutes and 30 seconds. That's the bare minimum.
Hell,
I've got
you
50.
can walk that.
Well, you would think so, but I live in New Jersey where it's like 80% humidity and 90% and 90 degrees Fahrenheit, where it's like, well, it's the devil's anus outside. Can I just quit right now and take the fail? Or but honestly, to tell you the truth, at my rank, when I go to take my PT test, the airmen are like, hey, Chief, what's your score? Before I take it, they go, what do you mean? They're like, what's your score? I'll just fill it out now. I was like, oh, I got a 99. They're like, oh, okay, gotcha. And I'm like, oh, I'll see you guys later.
Oh man.
You know what I'm talking about, Tom. That's how it works.
Yeah. Well, it's one hand. Let's see. One hand washes the other, and if you know the right people,
Yeah.
you could sit there and get away with anything.
And that's what's funny is I've got friends in the medical squadron, friends in dental, friends in the MPF, friends in legal, friends in finance. I've made friends in all the branches. That way, if I need something, I just call a number. I'm like, yo, dude, can you hook me up? They're like, I got you, bro. Pat, what were you saying?
Nothing.
I
He's
thought
just
you were trying to
listening.
say something. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. I muted my mic because I went back downstairs and my son's playing Fortnite. So
Oh, how old's your son?
just turned 13 yesterday.
My son just turned 11. My oldest just turned 18. Next one just turned 17.
Nice.
Is that your oldest right there, or is that your only?
Oldest should be on here. My oldest was born at Naval Air Force Base. He's my $12.50 kid.
Jesus Christ, Tom. I don't even want to ask how that's a thing. How old is your oldest?
No, because at Hill, back then what they did is they charged you because I was on separate rats. They sat there and charged me for the food that my wife had. In the
Yeah,
house.
they still do that. They only charge you for the food that they consume in the military hospital. It's still a thing.
That's all the kid cost.
Yep. How old is your oldest?
Oh God.
40.
Oh, God.
That's gonna laugh at me.
Tom, don't make me feel shitty.
42.
I'd say he's in his 40s. He's not pet. He's 41, 42 maybe.
Pat, you said 42?
Oh, he did? Oh,
42.
Pat, how old are you?
I'll be 36 this year.
Pat, you don't look a day older than 29. I'm telling you right now. You look young.
That's the genes. It's the only thing I can attribute it to.
Tom looks like 55. No shit. I'm not lying.
I turn 70 next May.
Shut the oh my God. My mom was 72. She just passed away this November from ALS.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sucks, man. My condolences.
Yeah, no, dude, that's all right. But ALS, man, that's like the shit that Stephen Hawking had. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Somehow that dude lived like 30-some years with it. My mom, they said max life expectancy is 5 years. My mom made it 5 years.
Okay. Got a kick out of it. You got on. We got 3 people watching. Nobody's hit nothing in the chat, and we're just having a good time.
Tom, I could talk, dude. I'm telling you, now that I know you're an Air Force vet, and I'm digging your son Pat, man. I like this guy. I could talk to you guys all day.
Well, hold on. Let me see what my other son is doing.
Pat, you like good country cooking? You like good food?
Yep.
Dude, have you not seen my channel, brother?
I'm not a big YouTube guy, but I'm gonna follow it now.
Oh, brother, I'm telling you, I've got some recipes that are gonna make you orgasmic. I'm telling you right now. I do a lot of barbecuing, a lot of just good old like steak, shit like that. I pride myself in my editing. I think I do an okay job, Tom. What do you think?
It's good. You know, I do a lot of smoking of meat.
I do, Tom. I watch every video that Tom posts.
Got-
All right, I
got
just
that many
texted my
pounds.
oldest son, told him we're still on. God, I'm out of tequila. Who keeps drinking my tequila?
Tom, I've got some right here. It's right here. It's Jose Cuervo Silver.
I got Jose Cuervo Gold, and somebody keeps drinking it. Or there's a
Yeah,
hole
it's that Dick Pat. That's that Dick Pat. He keeps drinking it. I see him.
Unfortunately, I got to do mine mixed. That's my mixed drink right there. I haven't touched it.
What is it?
That's gin and Coke Zero.
Well, so 0 cals. Are you doing any type of low cal diet, Pat?
I have to. My A1C levels were elevated, so I got to cut back on my sugars, carbs, complex carbs, all that good shit.
Well, Pat, my last 7 videos are straight keto recipes.
Okay, I'll have to check those out.
I have a bacon cheeseburger bacon cheeseburger keto pizza with dough. It's an almond flour based dough. It's fucking banging, dude.
I'll have to try that because me and my girlfriend both are doing that. My girlfriend, she's pretty much cut carbs and sugar out, and she's already down, I want to say, like 30 pounds.
It works, man. I'm telling you right now, if you can get away from it, the low sugars, all that shit, it works. I'm down. I was sitting at 235. I'm sitting at 205 right now.
That's awesome. I just kind of do it. I don't need to lose the weight, but I want to tone up. That's the problem. I got too much of a belly.
I got heavy in my older age, and I didn't want to. It's just I used to be thin and fit, and now I've got a gut and boobs. And I was like, well, it's time to get rid of that gut and boobs.
It's the only thing.
Tom, don't you tease me with that. Tom, you look good. Damn.
It's the only thing I own that's paid for.
It's like 68 in the garage.
Huh?
Besides that 68 sitting in the garage.
Oh yeah.
Tom, can you just send that to me? I'll take it.
What, the 68?
No, the gut. I'll take it. But yeah, I've got today. I didn't film it, but I took a picture and posted it on my Facebook and the YouTube. It was a blue cheese bacon cheeseburger with guacamole and chipotle ranch sauce over it. No bun. And it was all protein and fat, all that good shit. But it's like basically good for you with keto. I don't understand how I could eat that shit and still lose weight. I'm like, wait, how did I used to see bacon and burger and cheese and guacamole and all that good stuff? And it was like, and ranch. And I'm like, oh, well, I just lost another. I'm right now averaging a pound a day. No shit.
That's awesome.
Pound a day.
That's awesome.
That's
Dude,
what
I'm telling you,
doing.
that low carb is where it's at, man.
My boss is full keto, and I want to say he'll even fast. He'll go 4 or 5 days without eating.
Oh, but that's impossible. I couldn't do that.
I
I'd
could
die.
but he's a smart dude. He does all the research, and pretty much he tried explaining it to me where keto pretty much uses all your stores.
Yeah, it does. It basically tricks your body from using the carbohydrates and sugars
Yep.
as energy, and it makes it use the protein and fats as energy.
Yep.
And then when you deprive it of that, it starts using your fat storage as energy.
Yep.
Dude, I'm not joking. It's no bullshit. It works.
Yeah. I'll have to take a picture of my boss. We have 2 pictures hanging up on the wall. And I mean,
Are they of him in the locker room or no?
no.
Oh, well, then.
No, it's like a good picture. Everybody-
Tom's going, oh, here's MD. Here's MD.
Okay.
He's down, I would say, at least over 100 pounds.
And
That's
and
amazing,
for Dale,
dude.
and for Dale, he's the fire marshal. I'm not going to say he was big, but I would say that he was really husky. And if he lost 100 pounds, he's got to be looking good.
You need to have lunch with him, Dad, and see it. You won't believe your eyes.
Like, is he hot or what?
Well, I mean, for 48, compared to what he was before, he's looking damn good.
So if I was a chick, I would reverse cowgirl him right now. is what you're saying.
Probably.
Dude, you gotta introduce me to this guy.
He's going to be moving out that way next year when he retires.
Yeah. Is it
Tom-
Ohio he's going to? Pat,
What?
Ohio he's going to?
Ohio or Tennessee?
Okay.
Hey, Tom, when you get a chance, email me. You got my email, right?
Yeah, and I deleted it out of the chat too.
Email me your mailing address. I got some shit to send you. I've got some Air Force and 141 memorabilia that's sitting in a closet. I'm talking C-141 that retired in 2003. I've got some 141 memorabilia to send you, brother.
Yeah. That's the funny thing about it is the best man at my wedding, his name's Don Collins. He was a loadmaster on 141s.
Oh,
He tells a neat story on the Get Out of Nam, that where he's sitting there climbing out in his 141 and they had a ram hit him and they lost like about 2 feet of the wingtip.
dude, I ain't lying, man. So, no bullshit. So, we did 2002. You remember when we first invaded Iraq?
Mm-hmm.
So we had something called the Baghdad Express, and
I know that,
we flew from Bramstein Air Force Base to Baghdad, and I went back and forth. I went 4 times a day each way, and we went. I would sit in the left troop window. You know what I'm talking about, troop window, and I had that little switch with the red button in my hand, and we would look. We had our headsets on, and you would look for the flash and the missile launch. Be like, missile launch left. And the AC aircraft commander would say, all right, count down. And I'd be like, all right, 10, 9, 8, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, launch, launch, launch. And we'd hit boom, boom, boom. We'd do it in sequence so it would simulate engines, all 4 engines going off. Boom, 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 boom. It would basically simulate the 4 engines. Dude, that happened every trip in. Every trip out, and I still hate flying to this day. My wife's like, we're going to fly somewhere. I was like, I'd rather drive. It's to Hawaii. I'm pretty sure there's a boat that goes there.
But you're
can we just
popping out flares, right?
Yeah, it would pop flares and chaff. If it got too close, we'd do chaff, which is basically aluminum balls that would foil the radar of the missiles.
We'd come down here to Nellis, and the didn't have flare or chaff dispensers on it. So in the speed brake wells, we would sit there and put a whole bunch of boxes of chaff in there for the pilot and sit there. And then when he go up and he get air to air with something or something get locked on and he had to use chaff because you couldn't kick out flares. I mean, you're not going to open a canopy at 500 knots or 600 knots and start throwing flares out. So he would pop his speed brakes open just a little bit and chaff would start coming out. And that's how they.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, bro.
Yeah. Well, hey, we're the old age, man.
Man, I'm telling. I tried telling about. Now we have the LARCM system on there, and I'm not joking, dude. It literally locks onto missile eyes, and it's a laser beam, and it shoots the eye out of the missile, and the missile is basically flying blind, and it just goes off into nowhere.
Hey, MD, we lost your picture. Oh, now you're back. We lost your picture there for a minute.
Sorry, my daughter was texting me. She's at college right now, and she's homesick. And I saw she was like, sent me a 3-paragraph text, and I was like, oh.
Okay. Well, I just texted my oldest boy and told him we're on.
What's your oldest name?
You're going to love this.
Yeah.
Back in my day in the Air Force, we always liked acronyms. So I was called TA because my name's Thomas Allen Noble. So they called me TA.
Yeah.
My son's name is Thomas William Noble. He's named after my dad, and I'm not a junior. He's named after my dad. The William comes from my wife's father, and so we called him TW. Now, over the years, it's T-DUB, T-Dub. And that's what he goes. Yeah, and I haven't called him, I think, Tom or Thomas maybe once or twice in his life. Pat's saying no.
What, is he married?
Oh, yeah. I got 3
What's his wife
granddaughters.
calling?
I got 3 granddaughters.
What's his wife calling?
T-Dub.
T-Dub, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he calls him T-Dub.
Dude, that dude's a badass right now. When his own wife calls him, yo, T-Dub. That's basically like a character off of Friday.
Ask Pat.
I love
Now,
this guy.
Pat and T-Dub are really close. Ask Pat what he calls him.
Yeah, it's T-Dub. I call him T-Dub.
What's it? Okay, so what's a name that he hates being called?
That's a good question. Never really had one over the years.
Like Thomas doesn't bother him?
No.
No, one time when he was young, I think it was 7 or 8, I sat there and I yelled at him and said, "Thomas William," and that's probably the only time I ever called him that.
I love it, dude. Dude, that's awesome. I like that, man. You got an interesting heritage there.
But even me growing up, being Patrick, he used to make fun of me and call me Patricia all the time. And
Oh, I can see that, dude.
it
Did
would
you ever nut check
Yeah.
him?
When Pat was born, I sat there and I said, "Okay, Nance, what are we?" She said, "Patrick George." I said, "Patrick, because we're Irish," and she goes, "Okay." And George after my dad, and I said, "Okay." PG, God, I can't say it. Parental guidance, and she goes, "Don't you start that with him."
never took.
Well, no, I never. I got told not to start it with him.
So did you ever, when he ever called you Patricia, did you ever nut check him, dude? Be like, "Oh, I forgot to tell you, pow, right in your balls."
Believe me, I wanted to, but no, I didn't.
Is he much older?
6.5 years.
6 years.
Yeah, 6.5, almost 7.
So now here's what you do. Be like, hey, DW, I was gonna ask you, what's AARP like? You gotta start doing shit like that to him.
That's not a bad one.
MD, you're forgetting. These two are close. These two are more close than any brothers I've ever known in my entire life. Even though there's 6 years difference between them.
They didn't
Look
kiss
alike too. Apparently, everybody says we could be twins, but I don't see it.
I knew 2 brothers that used to kiss a lot. They were pretty close. You're not that close, are you? Those are the closest brothers I've ever
Not
known.
even.
They said, they were like, hey, fun to watch, fun to do, even better. That's what they told me. I was like, what is that? I don't even know what that means.
That's what's weird.
I like Pat, man. Pat's for real. So Las Vegas, you guys are in the Vegas area, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Unfortunately.
Man, if I come out to Nellis, can I visit with you guys or what?
Give me a call. I'll pick you up, dude.
Dude, I want to hang out with y'all, man. This sounds like a blast. I think Pat would be like, I like Andy on live stream, not in person.
I'm pretty laid back and easygoing. I mean, as long as we're not fighting and beating the shit out of each other, it'll be all right.
Yeah, we're good, dude. I'm so at work, I'm very, very alpha. At home, I'm just like, I gotta let it go or else I'll go insane. Does that make sense? I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah, it does.
What you mean?
Makes perfect sense.
When you have to be alpha for 9 hours, 10 hours a day, you don't want to do it anymore. You're just like, I just want to come home and be happy.
It's too stressful.
I hate my job. Like every second of it, I hate it.
Well, hold on. Let me ask you this: Did you do a short time calendar for yourself?
Do I have what? What would you say?
A short time calendar for yourself.
Do I have a calendar that's marking 11 months and 29 days and it comes down and it says like 22 hours and 27 minutes? Is that what you're asking, Tom?
It's
I
on
have
the-
no idea what you're talking about.
He probably has it on a monthly reminder every month.
In Thailand,
I've got it on my desktop computer at work and it sits in the upper left corner.
In Thailand, mine was a helmet with a pair of combat boots on it, and you color off another day, and you started at day 360. You started right when you got there because you had to do a tour for a year.
Then you start it when you get there. That's when you know your life sucks. You're like, shit.
I mean, it's like when you went to CBPO, it handed to you with all your other paperwork. You know,
With your in processing, they give you the go home fucking calendar.
Yeah. So we sit there and we mark it off. So then when I announced my retirement, when I was at Henderson in the fire department or building department, and sat there and said, I'm retiring, I made a short timers calendar. and everybody's looking at me. And there's one ex-Air Force guy that was a fire inspector with me, and everybody's looking, what the fuck is that? And JJ looks at me, he comes over, slaps me high five, and he goes, all right, Tom, JJ was ex-Air Force, so he knew what I was doing. So I sit there and go, okay, 210 days left, guys. Eat it.
How can no one understand what that means? That just means they're retarded. Like you're like, why would you do that? Be like, you are mentally challenged. If you do not understand how I am counting down the days to where I do not have to work and still get a paycheck. Fucking Jesus. I want to slap him in the face for not understanding that.
I just hit my 1 year, so it's too early for me to start to count down.
Oh, 1 year? Oh my God, Pat, how many more is that?
I got 28 and change.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm getting nightmares just thinking about if I had 28 more years. Oh, I would fight. Dude, I'm not joking. Me and a shotgun would be playing Russian roulette right now. We'd be like going,
Yep. I gotta work 30, or I can retire after, what is it? I gotta be 62 with 10.
oh, fuck.
Or I got to work 30.
I'm not working when I'm 60. I'm telling you right now. If I'm working when I'm 60, I'm giving HJs on the corner. I'm telling you right now. That's what I'm.
Unfortunately, I don't get as good as pension as you. I only get 75% of my best 3 years if I work the full 30.
Well, so honestly, that's kind of what the military's like. You get the best of your last 3 years at 20.
Okay. But I got to work 30 to get 75. It used to be 25 and you get 75. Or you had to be, I think it was 60 or 55 with 10 in.
So we get 50% of our base salary at 20 years of our top 3 rank. And that's the top 3 last years. So that's like 3,200 for me. Or wait. 28 for, if you figure in 50%, 2,800 for base. And then I've got 80% disability, which is another 2,000. So it's like 4,800 a month doing nothing. And then my wife, she just started. Tom, do you know what a GS position is?
Yeah. What?
That's my
GS12, GS10. What is she?
Yeah, my wife's a GS12 right now, and she just started here 2 years ago, and she can after a year you can transfer anywhere in the United States as a GS12. And this is, dude, I have the greatest wife in the world. She said, Andy, my name's Andy. She goes, Andy, you've done 20 years of service. She goes, when you retire, I don't expect you to do any more. I've got it from there. And I said, oh,
That's a keeper.
I love you so much. What's that, Pat?
Did you tell everybody a classic muscle car too?
So I'm going to be so I told her, I was like, well, I got to do something because I'm going to go insane. Unless I move to a state where I can hunt 365 days a year, then I'm okay. If I can hunt 365 days a year, I'm okay. Because I can hunt like no tomorrow.
The only state I know that is Louisiana.
Well, so New Jersey, we are allowed to, with unlimited antlerless. We can shoot as many deer as we want that don't have any antlers on it. And I can hunt from September 9th to February 13th.
Are they
and there's 3...
Are they trying to cut down the herd?
Yeah, it's really, really bad here. And there's 3 seasons. There's fall bow, permit bow, and then winter bow. And each of those 3 seasons, you can take a buck. So you can take 3 separate bucks. So I shot 2 bucks this past year. I shot 2 bucks and 11 doe, Tom. I butcher them all myself. And my thing, I took 13 deer. We didn't eat beef from September 9th until I think it was March something.
I got teed up with that when they were younger. I sat there and I got a hold of some venison. I stopped hunting when my best friend got shot up in Utah. And I didn't.
I'm only archery. I only archery hunt bow But
Tim, he got shot by a. I think if in the state of Utah, if you want to go hunting, you put on the orange vest and the orange baseball cap, and then all the Mormons sit there and think you're a deer.
Jesus Christ, they're retarded.
I am dead serious on that, and so I don't know the whole story and how Tim ended up with a 30-06 in his head, but that's basically.
Jeez, in his head, a 30-06.
Yeah. So basically,
that's no joke, man. That's some serious business.
So anyway, I got a hold of some venison one time, and I chopped it up, and I soaked it a little bit in vinegar and a few other spices and everything else, and I diced it up in bite-sized chunks, and I made a beef stew out of it. And I told T-Dub and Pat it and my wife, because if I told them you're eating Bambi, they would have sat there and got nuts. And they're sitting there woofing this thing down, I'm going, this is great. Everything, I'll go buy some venison. And they all got done eating. I'm cleaning up the kitchen and everything else. And I go, you guys all like the beef stew? And they go, oh yeah, it was great. And I said, it's venison. What's venison, Dad? Deer. Deer?
It's amazing. I'm telling you. Deer. Now imagine, so if you were to see people like venison, I don't think you'd eat that. It's okay. So imagine a meat that was so organic, that had zero antibiotics, zero any extras. It's just so pure, so good. Ate nothing but natural food. People be like, I want that. But then you tell them it's deer, and they're like, oh, I don't know. Man, weirdos.
So let me ask you this. I haven't gone that far back in your channel, but have you smoked any venison?
Oh, Tom, are you missing out? I did an entire hind quarter. I boned it and smoked it just like I would a brisket.
You kidding me?
Not even lying, dude. And then so I cooked it to 150 to where it was medium, and then sliced it so it was pink in the middle, yet had a smoke ring, and it was heaven.
Oh, dude. How far back was that?
So, not too long ago, and I've also done one where I did back straps with onions and mushrooms, and I did that on cast iron over a fire pit.
Okay. How far back was the venison hind quarter you did?
Well, shit. I'm on my phone right now. I can't look. I would say
I can look at videos.
I would say January, February time.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So if you look back, it's probably 20 videos back, not even that.
All right. Well,
you'll see. Tom, it was on point. It was so good. Because I do them all. I have an electric hoist in my garage. I turn my whole garage into a butcher station. I have an industrial meat grinder. I can do 11 pounds in a minute in my grinder. Yeah, it's the shit. The electric hoist my wife got me for Christmas. So I can bring up the deer, and then it goes over a 50-gallon drum with a drum liner. And I gut it, skin it right into the barrel. And then I basically, I'll take the back straps off. And then I'll take the inner loins off, and then I'll quarter it.
Yeah.
And wrap the quarters and put them in the deep freeze. And I can do that entire process in about 35 to 45 minutes. Damn. That's how proficient I've got with it. And so then the next week after a week it sits in the freezer, my wife, I don't even have to do this. I'm telling you, I've married the perfect woman. So after a week, my wife will take the quarters out while I'm at work, let them thaw. She takes all the meat off of it for me and grinds it at the grinding station, vacuum seals all the bags into 2-pound bags, and we have 2-pound bags of ground venison. She does it all with the knife and grinder right there.
Burger time.
While I'm at work. That is a woman who knows how to butcher.
You know what I'd love to do if I got the right amount of venison is I would love to do a venison meatloaf.
We've done that. I did my last I think my last venison recipe I did because I have a sausage stuffer, and I did my own cheddar venison bratwurst.
Andy, you might want to watch how you use sausage stuffer.
He's like, Andy, you might want to listen, Tom, you dick. But I've done I do my own my I did a cheddar venison bratwurst, and it was amazing, dude.
Oh, dude, you do some of those. You got to freeze them and send them to me.
Oh, Tom, this season you got it, man. I'm telling you, email me. Like, we got my email now. Email your mailing address. I'm gonna hook you up with some shit. You're gonna be like, I've got the Cabela's. I've got an industrial, basically, dehydrator. I'm not joking. I've got the Cabela's big fucker, the one that you get that's like it's meant for like companies. I've got that. So I do like jerky. I do everything.
Dude, you're talking. Actually, if my oldest son was here, you're talking to 3 people who love jerky.
Pat, you like jerky?
Yeah, venison jerky, not so much, but yeah.
Okay, Pat. So what is it? I got to talk to you about venison. So if you don't like the gamey flavor, this is coming from a butcher. The gamey flavor in venison comes from the fat. If you trim off all fat, I guarantee you, if I cooked a venison steak right now in front of you, you would not be able to tell the difference between that and a beef steak.
Go for it, because that's what it was. It was the gaminess of it.
Yeah, so fat is where the gaminess flavor comes from. So all my venison is 100% fat free.
Liquor run.
Got you, Tom. Because I've been doing this. So I've been hunting and butchering deer since I was 9 years old, believe it or not. But that's something my dad taught me. And the fat of the deer is where the ickiness tastes. My dad used to call me. This is how my dad taught me how to butcher. He goes, "That's the num-nums and that's the ickies." And that's how I learned how to butcher. He goes, "Those are the ickies and those are the num-nums." Okay. And so when I would butcher deer, I still go, num-nums, ickies, num-nums, ickies. I'm 39 years old doing that. My son's like, "Dad, what are you doing?" I'm like, "Look, Josh, leave me alone."
But yeah, I'll try it. I'll try it again. It's just the stuff that was brought in. It was just too gamey for me. So.
And honestly, it depends on where it was, what the deer was eating too. Where was it at? Where was the deer at that you shot?
Probably from northern Nevada.
So it probably a lot of sagebrush then, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gamey. I'm not gonna lie, that's gamey. The deer in Jersey they eat corn and soybeans.
That's probably better.
In Nevada, if you go hunting, a lot of them will go to southern Utah and go for a tag there rather than getting a tag in Nevada.
So, Tom, do the deer there eat a lot of sage? Is that what they're eating?
In Nevada, yeah. Up in Utah, it's more the grass. There's more meadows up there.
So I can see the Nevada deer tasting a little gamier. They're eating only sage.
Now, when I made them the venison stew, I sat there and like I said, is I dunked it in vinegar. I marinated it in vinegar and a few other spices and everything else to pull the gaming out of it. And with them, I sat there, and that venison came from Utah, northern Utah, from a buddy of mine.
It was in their head. You think it was in their head?
Up there, they're eating more of the grass corn.
Yeah, gotcha. I gotcha.
Bop into Mom's flower garden and start tearing that apart. You know, it's actually that's where the buck that the venison came from was that it was up at a buddy's place in northern Utah, and he woke up one morning and it was tearing apart his garden and flower garden, and he shot the sucker.
So here you go, Tom. Can you see those guys right there?
Yeah.
And then I've got those guys there.
Yeah.
And then I've got that guy over there. It's what I've done since I was 9 years old. I've done this.
Well, you're doing your bit to sit there and help New Jersey thin out the herd.
And honestly, This is for Patrick. If he wants to try something that's gamey, or if how do you like fish, Pat? You like fish a lot?
It's not too bad, but it depends on if it's got a fishy taste to it.
Oh, so Pat, I'm gonna give you a life hack that's gonna change your life. If you get like, let's say catfish, and it's
Yeah.
really fishy, or let's say you get gamey meat that is really gamey, put it in a Ziploc baggie with whole milk and let it sit overnight. And
Okay.
every single piece of gamey flavor and every single piece of fishy flavor is going to extract out of that meat, and it's going to taste like the most delicious thing you've ever had. I promise you. It's a trick. I'm telling you. It will take all the fishy flavor out. It'll take all the gamey flavor out. There's something about whole milk that just extracts it. It's weird. It works.
Hey,
It
Andy,
works.
what about buttermilk? I heard buttermilk does the
It
same.
works too. It's a high fat content milk is what it's got to be. That
Okay.
works too, Tom.
All right. Well, I don't hunt anymore. So,
Tom, I couldn't imagine not hunting. That's the joy in my life.
well, it's the joy in my life is sitting in my garage right now, and it's actually it's up on jack stands right now.
So see, I get like 5 months a year where I get to sit in a tree stand and I just sit there in the silence in the woods and wait for deer to come, and it's heaven. It is my serious heaven.
And I'd love to sit next to you on anything else, but I'm not going to pull on a deer, or I'm not going to shoot a deer, but I will help you eat it, and I'll help you skin it, and help you do anything else. It's just, it brings back memories of
I got you.
you know,
I got you.
but I can understand the serenity you get sitting up in the deer stand though.
Mine is more of I like to know what I'm eating. More of you know what I mean? When I kill a deer, I don't think of it as taking a life, which I go up and my son and my daughters, I've taught them on every deer they've killed is like, always respect the animal that you've taken. I don't want you to think of this as something lesser. I was like, but
Hey
I
Pat,
want to know where my meat
But-
came from. I want to know where my food came from.
I bet you Andy's a big Ted Nugent fan too.
Probably.
That dude is a
Dude.
fucking hero. How did you know that?
Ted Nugent does everything you're talking about. He bow hunts. He eats his own kills. Everything.
Have you ever seen the movie Beer for My Horses?
Mm-mm.
I think it's Toby. Dude, that's one of the best movies out there. I think it's like beer for my man, before my horses, something like that. I can't remember what it is. And it's an awesome movie. Ted Nugent is like this mute guy who's basically a badass sheriff with this dude. It's awesome.
Andy, you know what I did to you, Dizzy?
What's that?
You Dizzy? You know what I did to him?
What'd you do?
I sat there and in the middle of his party that's going on this weekend, I sent him the movie Beer Fest.
Oh, Beer Fest is amazing.
Yeah, so let's see what happens. They're right now up at the farm. Hold on, I got a text from my oldest.
I see a little one behind you, Patrick.
Oh, that's his girlfriend.
Wait, hold on a second. Pat, what the hell did you do to deserve that?
Oh.
Holy crap.
I guess I got lucky.
She's gorgeous. Well done.
Indeed, she is. Thank
Very
you.
beautiful. She's very beautiful.
Yeah, she is.
Listen, I don't mean to talk smack about her, but I bet you I could rock a bra and panties way better than her.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah, she's very pretty. Very good job, man. What's her name?
Robin.
Oh my God! All I heard at first was Rob, and I was like, "Well, this went south really fast."
No, her name's Robin.
Very pretty girl, man. What good for you, man. Hell yeah.
Yeah, we actually went to high school together.
No shit. Is that how you locked her in? Do you have her under some type of oath that you locked her in on, or what?
No, she's in it willingly, man. That's the weird part.
God.
Pat, tell him the truth. She wouldn't talk to you.
Yeah,
You
she
met in
wouldn't
auto
talk to
shop
me.
class and she wouldn't talk to you.
Pat's got to be hanging like 14 inches. I'm telling you right
I don't want to brag, but yeah.
now. Listen, like I tell all the women in high school, I was like, hey, it might be small, but it sure is skinny. And they go, wait, what?
Oh, that's awesome.
But to be honest, the girls in high school had a really cute nickname for me. It was what was it? It was oh yeah, hey you behind the bushes. That's what it was.
All right.
Get Robin over here. I want to talk to her some more. I like her.
She just walked in from work, so I'm off on Fridays.
What does she do for work?
She works for PennyMac now. She just got a job about a month ago doing like home mortgage. She works at the call center here in Las Vegas for him. So
Awesome. Robin, I am a waiter at a bar called Tallywhackers. It's basically a male version of Hooters. I wear a banana hammock every day to work. And what's terrible is it's a thong, and sometimes I wear it backwards and it still covers everything up. It's embarrassing. Robin right now is going, that poor little boy. Listen, don't make fun of me. I have 2 belly buttons, okay?
and 3 nipples.
How have we not been met before? I'm telling you right now.
You got to come out to Vegas, man. You got to come out.
I'm coming out to Vegas. We're gonna get arrested.
You to
DUI orders, man.
You're going. We're taking you to Pahrump.
Oh hell yes, yes,
Get tested, I think, monthly.
dude. If we go out and if we get stopped, all I hope is that military police is there. Because once they look at my ID, they're like, "Oh, I'm sorry, Chief. You can proceed." That's all they gotta do. We're square, bro. We're square. Once they see I'm a chief, they're like, "Oh, you're on your own. Have a good day, Chief." Because it takes an act of Congress to touch me. None of them are gonna touch me. None of them have the energy to be like, all right, fuck it. I'm not down with this.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, guys, I actually, unfortunately, I got to get going. We got to worry about some dinner tonight for the kids. So,
well, Pat, Robin, you guys have a good night.
Thank you.
we will.
And be
sir.
thankful you have a husband with bigger than a 1-inch wiener like me. Pat, you have a good one, dude.
Robin, we'll see you later.
Yeah. You guys have a good night. Andy, it was nice talking
You too.
to you, sir. Nice to meet you.
Thanks, bro. It's nice talking to you too, Pat. Have a good one.
I'll let you know on the windshield.
All right. Sounds good, sir.
All right, we'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Wait, what's this in windshield you're getting? What's
No,
this?
no, we're getting ready. We're going to set we were supposed to set the windshield in the 68 Camaro tomorrow, but I haven't gotten it ready. So now we're going to wait for.
Look, Tom, I don't have the garage space for the Camaro that you're going to send me. So wait until I have the garage space.
Dude.
I can't believe that you're a fucking crew chief, dude.
And we've been hacking each other all this time on Disney's channel.
Dude, hold on. I've got my maintenance badge. I've got to. You don't know how much it means to talk to a fellow.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Just sit there for a minute. There's nobody watching. There's one person watching, so we ain't gonna lose any chat. So.
Got you. Alexa, what channel are the Phillies playing on?
Braves Phillies is on game 1 on Fox Sports South right now.
Uh-oh, he's a Phillies fan.
Yeah, listen, don't you talk back to me.
I'm a Cubs fan.
It says they're playing on Fox Sports 1, but they're not. Fucking drag racing on.
Drag racing. There you go.
No, I want to watch. The Phillies are playing the Braves. That's my wife's favorite team. I want to watch them clean the clocks out of them.
Here's a Ziploc I got with a whole bunch of old patches.
Oh my God, I love that! Oh, holy crap! That's it. What did that one say? What's on the bottom? Does it say?
That one?
Yeah. What does it say? I can't read it.
Oh, Tactical Air Command. It's
Oh.
my tac patch.
Your TAC? Ah.
Here. This I keep in a plastic bag because it's near and dear to my heart.
So you're basically you're a fighter crew chief.
Yeah.
Those guys are high speed. You guys are high speed.
Actually, towards the end of it, we were a mud mover. Oh man, I'm looking.
I like that you still have your patches, Tom. Hey, Tom, would you like a patch from something from more modern? Would that be cool or what?
Yeah, I collect I'll collect all Air Force patches. I gave you Dizzy all my firefighter patches I collect over the years, and I did that just because it was you, Dizzy. But
Tom, I gotta hook you up with some Air
I
Force
don't give my Air
patches.
Force patches away whatsoever.
I gotta hook you up with some Air Force patches, man.
Here's who I was at
Oh, that's cool.
that.
Fourth TAC Squadron, yeah, FTR
That
Squad.
was at Hill. That's who I was with.
That's at Hill.
Yeah.
Do you have any challenge coins or no?
Oh, hold on. Now you get to give me another minute.
Oh, Tom, I've got a whole fucking shelf of coins, bro. Me and you are about to try. Dude, I'm going to send you some coins, brother. You need some 305th AMXS coins is what you need.
Hang on. Just give me a minute.
How did I not know you were Air Force? Holy crap.
I guess we're going to be on for a while. I guess actually what we need to do is stop the live thing and
Yeah.
and just
I think
get on
so.
live the other way.
Yeah, I think so, man. People are like, these guys are weirdos. They're just jerking each other off.
Here's my challenge coins.
Oh, dude. I've got some to send you, man. I've got some to send you for my squadron. I've got to. Hit me up on my email with your mailing address. I've got some shit to send you.
Andy, I can't. The only bad thing about it is I can't repay it because I don't got any more.
Tom, don't worry about it. I want to. You're an Air Force veteran, and it's my duty to give you the heritage that you deserve.
There's my F4 challenge.
Did you? So my dad was in the Navy during Vietnam. Do you know what he was an electrician on?
What?
The F4 Phantom.
He was?
Not even shit on an aircraft carrier. My dad was an electrician on the F4 Phantom. Not even lying.
Awesome.
So, Tom, I don't want anything in return. I just want to send you something as from current to as my respect to you as a veteran, brother.
Okay. Cool.
I've got to.
I really do.
Tom, you don't know how. I've talked to you so many times in Dizzy's chats and other chats. I have a rapport with you now, and I don't think people understand the bond that happens between veterans, and especially between same service veterans, and let alone same career field veterans.
Yeah.
Then, dude, that's
my favorite coin. This is the Thunderbird 50th.
Yep, I recognize the Thunderbird right there.
And it's the 50th commemorative.
That's awesome. I do. Oh my God, that's awesome.
And it's in a plastic case. No.
Yep, that is outstanding. Outstanding coin.
Yeah, a good buddy of mine, Gary Martin, was NCO. God, he got to be Gary. What did he make? I think he made senior. I don't know. He made,
Oh, right on. Yeah, he did good.
made senior, and then I think he was going for the third one on top of senior, and then and we were at Hill together. I'm going through my challenge coins now that you've sat there. And, yeah, all of them I got in plastic bags.
Dude, hey, mine are on like a wood where they've got the lip that hold the coins up. You know what I'm talking about?
Mhm.
I've got one of those. I used to have them on my desk, and then I eventually put them in my office because I was like, yes.
I got a kick out of my one of my kids. They found this but at the time this, and they go, "What's this?" I go, "Challenge coins." I go, "What do you mean?" I go to the NCO club. What do you mean?
Yeah, you go there and you bring those in there. It's a fucking beer. Yep, that's a drink right there.
Mm-hmm.
Tom, I respected you 1,000 times before this stream. I respect you 1,000,000 times now. I'm telling you right now.
Oh, dude, we got some stories to tell each other.
Dude, I'm telling you. When I found out you were Air Force, and then you were like, "Yeah, I was a crew chief," I went, my jaw dropped. I went,
Well, yeah, if you want to do the career, if you want to do I was a 43151C. When I got out, I had a line number for staff, and I just sat there and I said, no. If you weren't going to give me the Thunderbirds, then I ain't giving you my time.
Yep, that makes sense, dude. That's what people are doing now when they're trying to get out. So here's what happened. When I put in my retirement a month ago, and I was like, "Hey, I'm done." They put me in the position that's basically the squadron lead, and they were like, "We're gonna give you chief," and I was like, "I don't want it. I'm retiring." And they're like, "Well, we're giving it to you anyways." And I was like, "Cool, I'm putting in my retirement right now." And they got like, my commander was like, "Why would you do that? We gave you chief." And I was like, "Because I told you I was fucking retiring, douchebag. That's fucking why." When I tell you no, like, I'm not the 30-year fuck. I'm not that guy. I'm not going to get my high 3. I'm going to get like a high of average of senior because that's the way my life is.
Well, wait. If you did 30, you're chief now. You get senior, and then you get the third. And I forgot what the third stripe now, because when I was in, there was no.
No, chief is E9. Chief is E9. That's what I'm at.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was at senior. I was at master, senior, and chief. And I told them no on chief, and they still gave it to me. And I'm not going to be able to retire as a chief because I'm not going to take the high 3.
Didn't they add another stripe on top of that though?
No, because E9 is as high as it goes. So I've got the 4 on bottom, 3 up top. That's
Okay.
as high as it goes. And they were like, "Yep." So I'm getting paid as a chief, but I'm not going to retire as a chief because I'm not going to take high 3.
So wait, you're getting paid as a chief.
Yep, but your retirement goes off of your last 3 high ranks. So
Okay.
the last 3 years you get an average of those 3. So I'll get a retirement of a senior, not a chief, because I'm not going to stay for 3. And I told them that, and my commander got pissed. He was like, "Oh," and I was like, "Listen, dude, I fucking told you before you did this that I was doing this." I was like, "I'm tired. I quit. My wife and my kids, they don't want to move anymore. They're just done."
You want to hear what I did to Hill Air Force Base?
I do, Tom. I do.
Oh, you want to hear this? All right, I'm going to present myself. So, hang on. Here's a story for you. Okay. This was back in 1978-79.
Okay.
I put in for the Thunderbirds. Now, you can check it out, but to put in for the Thunderbirds, you go through a bunch of bullshit. I mean, a bunch of shit, bullshit.
Yep.
Whatever, everything else.
Still the same thing. Still the same thing.
My wife sat there and had to go to a shrink and sit there and get 50 questions on her, because at the time, the highest divorce rate in the Air Force was with the Thunderbirds.
Because they're always gone.
Travel, everything else,
Yeah.
the whole 9 yards. And so they kept rolling on. I went through the shrink, everything, went through all the processing, everything, got my orders. Okay. I had to sign a 6-month extension to take the Thunderbird orders. Okay.
Yep. Yep.
So I signed the extension, everything else, the whole 9 yards. Then Hill at 388 Tech Fighter Wing, they were getting rid of the F4Ds and getting the F16s.
Okay.
Orders got froze to the base. I'm froze. I ain't going nowhere.
Fuck those guys at that point, man.
Yeah. Well, the commander sat there and said, I want to keep all experienced crew chiefs here. And I sat there and said, nope. So now by the time this is all done, I got less than a year left. And I'm in his office and he sat there and he goes, well, I'm going to send you to NCO leadership school. And I said, no, you're not. And he goes, yes, I am. I said, no, you're not. And I said, I'm getting out. I said, why are you wasting NCO leadership school on me? And I'm getting out. And he goes, well, you're primed for it. And you need to go. And I sat there and I said, okay, fine. I wrote a letter to Senator Charles Percy asking why the United States Air Force, and I found the cost out at that time, was $20,000 plus to send me to NCO leadership school when I'm getting out. It started a congressional investigation on that base. I was sunk. And they said, they started fucking with me 7 days with Sunday. I turned around and I told my squadron commander, I sat there and I said, with all due respect, sir, with what you have done to me in the last 6 months, I would rather go down to Madison and State Street in Chicago. That's where all the alcoholics hang out, and suck everybody's dick down there. Sorry, YouTube. And to sit there from what you did to me here. Thank you, sir. I ended it with sir. He couldn't do a goddamn thing.
Dude, that's funny as shit. You know that's a story he tells to this day. I had this fucking airman tell me he'd rather suck 100 dudes' dicks than stay here.
Well, no, he was a major. He retired as a major. He got busted down big time.
Yeah, that's what happens when them base investigations go down, man. Shit happens quick.
The lowest rank officer in charge of that individual,
yep.
His hand, you're off.
Man, that sucks, Tom. I'm sorry, brother. You would have made a great NCO.
I was an NCO, but I wasn't a senior NCO, and I don't care about that because you
would have been a great leader, though. The airmen would have looked up to you greatly, though, if you think about it.
Yeah. But I actually, the rest of my life, once I left the Air Force, it was fun. I had my highs and lows, but.
So I've had my shitty take of NCOs, shitty take of supervisors, shitty take of leaders. And my entire goal since the beginning of my career, and this is what I live by, and it's done me really, really well, is I want to be the supervisor. I want to be the NCO. I want to be the leader that I wish I had. Does that make sense to you?
Perfect sense. Perfect sense.
And my true belief is to my NCOs under me, my senior master sergeants, my master sergeants, my techs. I always tell them, I go, this is the only philosophy you need to live by. And they tell me that
we got 88 Katana in the house.
I like 88 Katana. He's a good dude. So I tell all the NCOs under me, I was like, here's the one philosophy you need to live by. And they go, what's that, Chief? And I say, take care of your people, and your people will take care of you.
Exactly.
That's all you got to. And they just look at me like I'm Chinese. They look like, what? I'm like, trust me. Take care of your people. Your people will take care of you, and it'll all work out.
Yeah. Exactly.
I was like, your job is not to fuck them. That's my job. If you've got problems with them, bring them to me. I'll fucking mess with them. And when I mess with them, I'll exit them from the Air Force. Your job is to take care of your people. When your people are taken care of, they're going to look out for you. If you've got people that are fuckwads, You send them to me, and I just say, "See you later." That's my job.
When I was at McDill, I had this little skinny, scrun up, used up, blown away, and I don't think the guy ever left the United States. Master Sergeant, and he was in charge of this my squadron, the crew chiefs. Okay, and he was sitting there and everything else. I went through the whole paperwork, first sergeant, squadron commander, everything at McDill. And this is when I was getting married, got the paperwork done and all that, got it married, set it up and everything, got it married and never came back. Okay, fine. Now I'm back here with my wife. I sat there and got an apartment and everything with Nancy. And we're all good and everything else. Well, all of a sudden the Air Force ain't paying me my separate rats, my housing, everything else. I'm going, what the fuck? And now out of my salary, think about it, I'm a 3-striper back then.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there and I'm trying to pay apartment, power, electricity. My wife ain't, I'm sitting there going, okay. And he sits there and he goes, and I walk up to him and I said, you and I got to talk. And he goes, what do you mean? And I said, well, chain of command. And this guy was totally clueless on this. Command, I got to talk to you. And he goes, what do you mean? I got to talk to you. And he goes, what? I said, my pay screwed up. I ain't getting paid. My wife, my separate rats, my house, everything. And he said, my housing, everything. And he goes, well, I don't know what to tell you, but you need. And I sat there and he's skinny little. I'm 5'10", 5'11", probably at this time maybe 165, 175 pounds. This guy's 5'6", 5'8", maybe 140 pounds, dripping wet. And he's trying to act like he's 6'2" and everything else because his stripes. And I sat there and I turned around and this is probably one thing I should have never done, but poked him in the chest and I sat there. My grandfather taught me, if you don't get paid, you don't work. I'm not getting paid. Guess what? I ain't working. Now you fix it. And he sat there and just cowered down and everything else. And probably he sat there and I said, next stop is the first sergeant. And I walked out of there, went to and started bitching at the first sergeant. I went home, didn't work that shift, went home. That day I was called again, go to the finance office, pick up a whole bunch of cash that they owed me. And and to give, I got 2 days off to sit there, straighten out my finances, and then to report to work.
So, see, that's my favorite part of my job is when an airman comes to me and goes, Master Sergeant blah, blah, blah isn't doing his job. I already went to him and he didn't fix this. Because it's what it's called is your chain of command. It is exactly what you said. Chain of command. You go to the first level of supervision. If you don't get the answer you want, you go to the next level. If you don't get the answer you want, you elevate it to the next one. I'm the last level. So when they come to me and it's one of those situations and I look at it and I go, so you brought this to them? And they go, yeah. And I'm just sitting there. I'm like, okay. So I call them. I go, hey, Airman so-and-so is sitting here in front of me and he's telling me this. What's your story? And they're like, well, I couldn't, when they do the, and I go, and I look at the airman, I go, you're dismissed. I'll take care of it. And they look at me and they go, oh, and I go, get the fuck out of my office. And they're like, okay. And I was like, that means this is about to get handled, but on a different level, and it's about to get yelling, and you don't need to be in here when I yell at other people. And he's like, okay, sir. And they leave, and then a master sergeant comes into my office, and I go, listen here, fuckface. This airman just came in here, and he told me he brought this problem to you. You're not able to fucking handle it? What the fuck is wrong with you? And they're like, they start stuttering, and they're like, and I go, if you can't handle your fucking job, I will take that stripe from you, and I will give it to someone else who can handle it. And they're like, yes, sir, I'm sorry, sir. Like, that's my favorite. That's my favorite part of my job. When you threaten me, like, I will take that fucking stripe and give it to someone who can handle it. They're like, they start doing that quiver lip like a 12-year-old girl.
Well,
and you're like,
money. That's money. Dude, that's money.
Tom, you should be in the military, right? Man, me and you should work right next to each other and be like, hey, Tom, guess what? This fucker's coming in. You ready to yell? I'd be like, oh, yeah, let's do this.
Do the bad NCO, good NCO. And
good, bad?
Out of this, when you're reprimanding them, then we switch.
That would fuck their head up. They'd be like, I don't know what's going on. They would literally start crying in the office. Tom, I'm telling you, because my wife has been there when I've yelled at people. I've made her leave my office and sit outside, and NCOs have come in, and then they've left, and they're crying, and she goes, "I heard you from outside," and I went, "You did?" And she goes, "You're scary." And I went, "Really?" And I was like, she goes, "Yeah, there was an NCO out there and you were yelling at him for not shaving because he went and saw the commander for punishment and he wasn't shaved, so he got rejected by the commander." I was like, "Oh yeah, that motherfucker." And I was like, she goes, "There was an NCO sitting outside where you're yelling at him and he started looking in the mirror like, am I clean shaven? Oh my God, I don't want to get drunk." And I was like, yeah, man, I get mean. Like there's a bone in my body that's like, I will fucking murder your children. You know what I mean?
No, it's not a bone in your body. It's something in your head that sits there and just switches.
Yep. And I tell my wife that I said, I get people. I'm the nicest person at work. I'm really easygoing, but there's something that happens when someone lies to me, or it's just a blatant bullshit, and a switch flips,
God.
and my face turns hot. My ears turn warm, and my face turns hot, and I become Satan. And it's like,
the funny thing that, oh, dude, the funny thing, too bad Pat isn't here, is growing up and everything else. Because the funny thing, I hate lies. I hate lies with a passion. I will kill. I mean, and growing up, Pat sat there, and both him and T-Dub sat there, and I, don't lie to me. Do you want do you want a spanking? Don't lie to me. If you lie to me, because if I ask the question, I already know the answer.
Oh, Tom, that is a fact, dude. Because before I ask a question, I have already investigated. I already know the answer. And all I want to know is if that guy is going to be a straight shooter and own his mistake. That's my question.
Yeah. You ask the question, I'm going to hang myself out to try and lie to you. That's basically what it comes down to. And today, Pat was here the other night. Every Saturday night we have a family night for dinner.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
And he's sitting there with his stepdaughter Brianna, and she's sitting there going, "Well," and I sat there and I go, "That's a lie." And she looks at me and she goes, "You don't even know this." No, coming out of your mouth, I know it's a lie, and she doesn't even realize it.
Yeah. And
then Pat said,
"It'd be like my bullshit meter is going whoop whoop whoop."
Pat points to me and goes, "See where I get it from? My dad. He hates lies. So do I." So yeah.
That's what I tell people. I tell them before I sit down. I go, and that's seriously how I start when I come in. I go, "Listen, I want you to know before we start. I already know the answer to all my questions. I want to see how honest you're going to be with me and how big of a man you're going to be and how much you're going to own up to this. So let's start now. Are you ready?" And they go, "Yes, sir." And I go, "Okay." And that's when I start. And they go, when you say that, they go,
"No, hold it, Andy. You're up front with them on this?"
I do. I tell them, I go, "Listen, I already know the answer to this. And I want to see how upfront you're going to be with me and how truthful and how big of a man you're going to be. You ready?" And they go, "Yes, sir." And I go, "Okay, let's start." And so that's what I start with, even if I don't know the answer, Tom. That's how I start my questions. And so they're going, and so every time they're going, "Oh, fuck." And so, and 99.9% of the time, I get the answer that I'm suspecting. And they're like, "Yes, sir, that was my fault." And I'm like, because in all honesty, no matter how minute you get with the questions, if it's someone's fault, it's the senior NCO's fault because he's the one who trained the NCO, who trained the airman, who made the mistake. So it's his fault. And if the senior NCO goes, "Sir, I have no excuses of why this airman fucked up. This is why blah, 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 blah. His training was not documented. It's my fault." And I go look at him, and I look him straight in the eyes, and I go, "Understood, mistakes happen. Don't let it happen again. Not again." And they look at me and they go, "Yes, Chief," and they walk out of the office. But if somebody, "I don't know, I told him and he fucking didn't do it." But you can start, because bullshit starts to have several layers to it. and they don't ever add up. And you look at them, and I look at them, and I go, listen, motherfucker, I don't give a fuck what your excuse is. And that's when I light in. As soon as they have an excuse of why it's not their fault, is when I light them up.
Andy, the thing of it is line has levels, and the bottom line is this level down here where they started. They
Yep.
don't remember that level.
Yep.
They
That's a
don't,
fact.
that's what hangs them up all the time.
And honestly, because I still have to answer when I go to the group commander, who is a full bird colonel, and I have to brief him on all this shit every morning at 8 o'clock and every afternoon at 2 o'clock. I have the 8 o'clock and the 2 o'clock that I have to go to and I have to brief. We have these maintenance groups meetings, and it's fucking stupid. And this is what I try to teach my NCOs, and they don't fucking learn because they're stupid. And I say, listen, this is how an NCO's life is. Everything that is good that happens in your unit is because of your airmen. Everything that is bad that happens in your unit
Exactly.
is because of you.
Mhm.
And that is the law. So if anything good happens and the colonel looks at you and goes, man, you guys are rocking, you immediately go, my airmen are fucking outstanding, and this is why. And if they go, why the fuck does your unit suck so bad? You'd be like, sir, it's because I have not taught them the correct way.
Okay, Andy, can I ask you a question?
Oh, absolutely, Tom.
When did you join? What year?
I joined before September 11th in 2000.
Okay. I'm just a buddy of mine. He was a crew chief, and he got in part of his reenlistment. He transferred, and he wanted to be loadmasters on C-141, and his name was Whitman. And I wondered if you crossed.
Where was he at? Do you know where he was stationed?
He was at Hill with me, and then he was transferring. I'm getting out, and
Yeah, I got you. That was in the 70s, right?
He wanted to be a loadmaster on 141s. That's all I know.
So, what was his last name? Do you know? Spearpit?
Sid, S-I-D-M-A-N, Sidman.
Sidman. Okay. I'm going to look at my shit because I've got some records. I've got some old orders I flew. I'll see if I ever flew with them because I was a flying. Do you know what an FCC is? A flying crew chief?
Mm-hmm.
I did that from 2002 to 2008.
Okay.
I did that for 2 years on the 141, for 4 years on the C-17.
And he wanted to go to 141s, and he was going to, let's see. And this was in 1979, 1980, because I got out in October of 79.
So, hey, I was born in 1980. God damn it.
You don't know him. Forget it. Scratch that.
Fuck off. That's not funny. Come on. So this was at what, Wright Pat, you said he wanted to go to?
No, he just wanted the career change. God, I can't remember the terminology it was back then, but he just wanted to go from crew chief to loadmaster.
Hey, you know what? That's a real thing. But see, I'm surprised he didn't want to go to engineer, FE, flight engineer, because we have those. And prior maintenance was a mandatory thing back then. And it's basically, they're not even loadmasters. They're basically the ones that advise the pilots during flight.
Okay. All right.
That's a good job. I'm surprised he didn't want to do that. That's a good job.
I don't know. We got 4 people watching us bullshit.
Hey, hey, all you 4 people out there, who are you? Put a message down there. Let us know who you guys are.
But yeah, Anthony.
We're talking Air Force. We're talking Air Force like history here, guys. I'm sorry.
Actually, you think about it. I'm 1971 to 1980. 80, and you were born
2000 to 2019 and a half.
We're old Air Force first, so come on.
Yeah, we are, man. I'm telling you. Do you have an old Air Force vet's hat? An Air Force veteran hat?
No. Oh, well, hold it. Wait. Hang on.
Oh, Tom, if you don't have one, you're getting one in the fucking mail. I'm telling you right now.
One of my favorite hats.
Oh God, Tom! If you didn't have one of those, I was gonna airmail you one because you sure as hell did. I'm sending you a challenge coin though for sure. I'm telling you that right now.
Do we got to flip it and sit there and see who's buying the drinks?
Dude, if me and you ever sit down, we're doing it.
Oh God,
We're gonna be like
you better
challenge.
TD White and Nellis, dude.
I see. I can get Tito because Red Flag is there. You know, the Red Flag is basically our combat exercise where all the fighter gets try to shoot down the cargo planes and there's escorts and all sorts of shit.
Hey! You're talking Hill Air Force Base, 3D8 TAC fighter wing, who's the first wing that goes anywhere to do anything, any place, anytime.
So you know what Red Flag is.
Down here on.
So when I say Red Flag, you're like, shut up, Andy. You already know what you're talking about.
What we called it back in the day?
Yep.
Red Rag.
No shit, really.
Mm-hmm. We're going to Red Rag. Okay.
Yeah, so now it hasn't changed. So that's kind of awesome though. If you think about it, it hasn't changed that much. It's called Red Flag. That's kind of cool, right?
It's been Red Flag ever since I've been in.
That's awesome, dude. That it's been the.
You want to hear the funny story about this whole thing? Is Red Flag during NASCAR's race here in March? Okay, here. No, dude, you don't love this story. Red Flag here is going on in March. Okay.
Okay, I got you.
So at the time, my wife and I used to buy sweet tickets to the race. We were at the time pretty well NASCAR fans until NASCAR decided to screw up
Got
the
you.
whole thing.
Yeah.
And so we sat there and we were up in the suites and everything else. And Red Flag's going off, and we're going through. They're doing practice on Friday, and Red Flag's going off. And Nancy goes, "What's that?" And I go, "Oh, that's an A10." And she, "Oh, what's that?" "Oh, that's a KC 135. What's that?" And then finally, this was Friday, so finally Saturday, the plane started taking off. And now I got everybody in the suite turning around, looking up at me, going, "Well, come on, Tom, what is it?" You know?
That's when you're like,
that's a British tornado. No, that's an F1. Come on, what F1? Yeah.
So we still have here at McGuire Air Force Base the KC 135s as a reserve unit. The Guard still has 135s. No bullshit.
Tanker.
Yep, refuelers. We also have the KC 10s. But we also the KC 36s, you know, the KC 46s, the new refueler that's coming out from Boeing.
Yeah.
It's some new one. It's scheduled to come here as its first assignment, but it's
called the 46.
KC 46, I think KC 46s. But
it's alcohol again.
It's gonna be here after I'm gone. It'll be here long after I'm Vominos. You know what I mean? The KC 46 is the next plane.
Yeah. I remember going from, God, what base was it? We were going from, I was going from Takli, not Takli, Ubon, Thailand to Seoul, Korea. And not Seoul, Korea. God, I can't remember. But I was playing craps with the boom operator and using his well as the roll for the dice in a KC 135.
No shit. Was it in Osan?
Oh God, I can't remember.
Because we have Kadena. Oh no, Kadena's Japan. Osan and Kunsan.
Yokota. It was Yokota, Japan.
Okay, Yokota, Japan. I got you. Kadena and Yokota, Japan. Yeah. I got you. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. And so by the time we were playing craps for God pennies, but because we were both broke. I mean, yeah. I was a 3-striper and he was a 3-striper, and we're in. But the well that the boom operator puts his nose down into to sit there, yeah, we're sitting there throwing dice down there, playing craps.
At the fucking boom. You're throwing them at the boom.
Yeah, the different things you do when flying in an aircraft.
Yep, that's a fact. And so you're not allowed to smoke on planes unless you're by the cargo ramp. You go back by the ramp and you can smoke back there where all the air is sucked out because that's where all the leaks and the pressurization is.
Andy, we've been on for an extra hour on my chat, but dude, next Friday, 3:00, I'm sending you a link.
You got wait, are you so where do you live again? What's your home state?
Vegas, Nevada.
Okay, what are you on? West Coast time?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm East Coast, so yeah, that's 6:00 for me. I got you, brother. I'm coming.
All right. You better hang, brother.
I got you. Tom, dude, it was an absolute pleasure to talk to a true Air Force veteran like yourself. I've got nothing but respect for you.
Andy, I enjoyed it 100%, dude. You and I got to hook up.
Yeah, dude, we do.
Come
We
on.
do. And Tom, I'm going to cook for you.
EY orders. Get to Nellis.
And I'm going to cook for you because that's my passion. I'm going to make you some num-nums.
All right, Andy. Thank you.
Hey, Tom, it was an absolute pleasure. I am truly honored to have been able to participate with you. Honestly.
Okay. The two left in the chat, good night. And we'll pick this up next Friday. Andy, I'll send you a link.
Thanks, Tom. Have a good one, guys.
You too. Good night.
Later.